I must not copy and pasted the stream key properly. And maybe when I erased the prior stream key, perhaps I didn't erase all the text,
Could be.
and certainly could be the
Could be.
case.
By the way, how's my audio? Is it coming
Audios
in?
are really good, yeah.
Okay. Also, I feel like my voice, like...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're live.
Speaking of audio, let's
Yeah.
double check, make sure the audience can hear us before we get going too fast. And then let me go live here on TikTok. Saying audio's good on YouTube. Let's get the info
Oh,
from
what
our
did you set the stream
TikTok.
delay to?
On OBS, it's just whatever the standard delay is.
On YouTube, though? There is a built-in YouTube stream delay
Yeah.
that you can lower if you want. And it just seems like people responded really fast. So I was like, oh, did you lower the stream delay?
Let me see what I've got it set to. Well, closed captions are turned on, so the stream latency is set to normal.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, let me accept you up. Bada bing, bada boom. And then I'm going to log into YouTube as well.
To TikTok. Oh, sorry. My bad. Okay, audio should be fixed.
Okay, I'm up on the TikToks. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, we're good to go there. Nope, I just lost my window. Where'd it go? Okay. Try that again. Everyone
I think
watching.
we're all set.
The TikTok multi-guest window keeps disappearing when I open it. If
I
I
see
move
it.
it to any screen that's not the screen with TikTok already open, it disappears.
What?
That's such a nuisance. Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. It won't let me position the manage guest window. It won't let me position it on any of my screens other than the screen in which TikTok Studio is open on.
You could
That's
just move the
the
manage guest
worst.
window to the left. That's what I usually do.
No, I can't.
So it doesn't cover the... No, I mean not to a left monitor, but just to like the left on the same monitor.
No, I can't. The monitor's full.
Oh,
It's already full. That's why I needed to move it to another monitor. That's crazy. Oh well. I guess
oh,
we'll
apparently they can't hear me.
can't hear you on TikTok.
At least according... Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, so
Hold on.
everybody, I'm not muted. Justin just has me muted on TikTok.
Give me 1 second. I wanna
Something's
make
going
sure.
wrong.
Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Because YouTube can definitely hear me.
Yeah, say something again.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
What about now?
Testing. Testing, testing. It says I'm very muffled. Who knows what that means? I mean, I know what that word means, but
It says not muted, but really bad. Interesting. I can turn the volume up.
did you fiddle with your audio settings at all?
I'm on a different computer today. It's a long story.
Oh,
Yeah. They're just saying bad audio. I don't know. I don't know what bad audio means.
huh. Now I sound like a robot. Well, I definitely don't think it's on my end, right?
No. No, no, no. 1 second. Let me
Cutting in and
convert
out,
it.
still no bueno.
We'll convert it to mono. Hold on.
Muffled. Can't hear Justin now. Low volume. Can't
Yeah.
hear. You aren't real.
If I turn, hold on. This is super annoying.
Yeah, no, the YouTube audio is fine. We're fine on YouTube. We know that.
All right, hold on. They should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me now, guys?
Now you're both bad.
Both cutting in and out. We can fix the cutting in and out. I think I see the problem with the cutting in and out, but I'm sending the audio from my soundboard over to TikTok Studio, and for some reason, it's not picking up the audio from the soundboard very well, and I don't know why. I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but Um, hmm. See if I can add. I can't add a.
Audio is really distorted now and low. Also, Ian, can you say something?
Oh, Ian's back.
Oh, we can't hear him at all.
He's
Because I'm
muted.
muted.
Oh, that would do it. No Justin audio.
No Justin audio. I'm on the same soundboard as everybody else. How can you how could you not hear me? So confused.
So much hum.
Hum?
Yep, that's what somebody said. Robot Blitz, you keep cutting out. I'm very robotic.
Oh, that's great. That's
Can't
what I
hear
like to hear.
Ian either.
Oh,
Audio
is
is
my-
weird. No sound. No, we can hear you, Ian. It's a TikTok issue right now.
A really good app, famously. No problems on that app.
Famously worth $100 billion too.
Yeah. High quality app.
Well designed.
Doesn't feel like you're fighting your way out of the pits of hell at all.
I want to open up the audio on my phone and see what it sounds like when we talk.
Oh, actually, that's a good idea. Testing?
Oh yeah, I see the problem.
Testing.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
It's cutting in and out. It's not picking up for some reason. It's not picking up the audio from my soundboard. Like it's confused for some reason about what to do with it, which is weird. And there's a warning says the volume might be too loud for viewers, except no one can hear it. Let me just delete it. I'm just gonna delete the audio source and try again. Right,
We're working on audio, y'all. We're working on it.
Sorry, friends. Sorry, friends. Sorry.
Justin is on the new computer. You know, I could have hosted if needed, but
Yeah, I used this on last week and it was okay. Something got fucked up.
Okay.
That's my bad. Noise suppression
Your-
doesn't need to be on. Just turn the noise.
your old
suppression
share
on.
is your old computer. Oh, it's working.
Is it working now?
Yeah, we're good. I think we're good now.
Dr. Blitz, if science is true, then why doesn't the audio work?
It does work. Get wrecked, creationist.
Oh no.
All right. Now that we got everybody here, they're saying the audio is good now, friends.
Yeah, I think so.
That's weird. Literally, the only thing that I did differently is I just literally deleted the audio source and re-added it. I didn't do anything.
Honestly,
different.
I mean, okay, you're not a computer engineer, so we can let this one go. But like, the first thing that you check when something's not working is just try doing it again. Turn
Delete
it off and turn it back on.
so annoying. Technology is literally the worst sometimes. Okay, well that's fine. All the audio seems to be working, so I think we
Yep, we seem a-okay.
good to go. All right, friends, if you're watching on YouTube, the link to join is on the screen. tiny.cc/UA guest. If you're watching on TikTok, you can hit that guest request button. We'll get you into the conversation. And if you're logging in via YouTube, you don't have to actually have an account with anything. You don't have to like give us your information or your email address or anything.
You don't even
like
have to have
that.
webcam.
Well,
I
I'll be
mean,
right
that's
back.
true. Sure.
Oh, now I'm floating. Dang it. Ian, I just fixed it so that my... Okay, I'm going to be floating until he gets back.
To be fair, I like floating blitz better. I think we should stick with floating blitz.
Ooh.
While we're doing that, let me. We got a super chat.
We don't have... Oh, go
We got
ahead.
a super chat from C Bar. Let me. Oh, I got to do one thing. I got to adjust the session ID on our super chat browsing window. Before I forget.
Ian's back, by the way.
Oh, that was fast. Oh, welcome back.
Yeah, I had to turn on my EPN VE.
Ah, yes. Your Iber say ost gay. Oops.
What? What'd you call me?
I have no idea what just happened.
Turns out, Pig Latin can make you say things that you don't want to say.
Oh boy. Well, friends, thank you for being here. Thank you so much, T-Bar, for the super chat. It says, my wife has turned vegan. She's changed so much that it's like I've never been herbivore. Oh, it's never been herbivore.
I've never seen herbivore.
Oh, fuck me.
A,
Sorry,
you
I
need
don't-
glasses. B, C-Bar has been shilling this joke everywhere that I see him.
You know what? It's a good one.
It is a good joke. It's a good joke. I'm not going to be mad about it.
I kind of like it. It's a good play on words. It really is. Also, I think Ian's convinced a lot of people to rethink their dietaries. I'm switching to pescatarian in the new year.
That's good. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like a source of cognitive dissonance for a lot of people. I don't know. I definitely think that like really basic ethical commitments will get you to veganism. Like I think if you think animal abuse is bad, you're basically guaranteed to arrive at the vegan position to remain consistent. And like there are definitely puzzles to it, right? There are like not easy issues to resolve. But I just think it's like an unavoidable conclusion.
Have you considered just not thinking about it?
Just don't consider it.
Just don't think about where your food comes from.
Yeah.
That'll fix it.
It got assembled
So
at
much
the meat
easier.
factory.
Exactly.
Goodness.
What's sad is that that's a true statement.
Let me grab our last super chat. We'll get our first guest in here. Milf Wrangler, thank you for the $10 super chat. It says, are three wise men being led by the star of science? Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Although, yeah, this star will lead you to truth, not to fairy tales.
How do you suppose they fit so much wise into just three men?
I'm not sure. Magic. If we know anything about the Bible, it's because of magic. Actually, we do one more super chat from our friend David Burke. David, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. And now, this is such a long super chat. Give me 1 second. I got to rearrange our super chat window so that it's tall enough to fit all of it. 1 second. Is that big enough? No, more. We need more super window. Okay. Let me do...
I haven't figured out how to make the super chat thing bigger. I just read it.
Oh,
And
shoot.
people can only see the first few bits.
I need like 50 more pixels. There we go. I won't do. There we go. Now it's big in. Okay. David, thank you for the super chat, friend. Says issues from your prior shows: objective morality, marital rape, or legal in U.S. until I think Oregon outlawed it in 1977, 1995. Before outlawed it in all states. Fine tuning. Did Adam have nipples? Why do men? If I created us, no need for toilets. Talk about waste. Oh,
If I'm reading this correctly, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but is like the question being raised like, if morals are objective, then why was it the case that there was like this horrendous practice until like so recently? If that's what the question's asking, then the claim of objective morality isn't making like a descriptive claim. It's not making a claim about people do behave or what people do think. It's like making a claim about like what people ought to. It's saying that there's some reason that everybody has to act in a specific way. You know, maybe like if you took like the Goworthian approach, you'd say, you know, everyone ought act in accordance with everyone's right to freedom and well-being. If you took like the Kantian approach, you'd say, you know, everybody ought act such that they like always treat others as like an end in themselves, never as like a means to an end. So I hope that answers that. You know, the fact that people are wrong about morality doesn't mean that morals couldn't still be objective.
yeah, that certainly seems to be the case. And also, the fact that like we outlawed it doesn't state anything about the nature of morals, just the nature of how we perceive morals. And Humans are pretty
I
fucked
guess
up.
gosh, you reminded me of like a different point as well. The idea that we make moral progress, that our morals are better today than they used to be. I mean, that's an idea that's kind of hard to make sense of under relativism, but it makes sense under like objectivism that we're getting closer to the truth.
Oh, interesting point. Interesting point. Well, thank you for that. Why did Adam and Eve have nipples? I assume they didn't, and the reason why men have nipples is because we evolved, and the Bible's not true. Because otherwise, there's
Men
no
have
good point.
men have nipples because some men enjoy when people touch them. That's why.
Well, maybe, and there are men who can lactate too. Like sometimes they're functional. So,
Interesting.
oh yeah, it's a real problem in the bodybuilding community because you're messing up your hormones typically by taking like growth hormone or steroids and things like that, and then before you know it, your estrogen levels are all out of whack and you're fucking lactating. It's crazy. Listen, the world's a crazy place. Last super
Indeed, it
chat
is.
from our friend Eve. Thank you so much, Eve, for the $100 super chat.
Huge W for Eve.
Happy
Let's get a
War
W
on
for Eve in all of the
Christmas.
chats, by the way.
Let's get a bunch of W's in the chat for Eve. That's huge. Thank you, Eve. But yeah, the war on Christmas is on. Although to be fair, it's really more on like the war of the story of Christmas, not necessarily the word Christmas. We're not gonna let Fox News win this one. All right, let's get our first guest in here. Looks like it's gonna be Jamie. Jamie's trying to connect. We'll give him a second. Loading, 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 loading. There you go, Jamie. Welcome in, Jamie. Are you
There
at
he
least
is.
18? And do you believe in God?
Lord. Of course.
Jamie,
Of course.
do you know that you're on the internet right
Of
now?
course. I just said yes.
Awesome.
Okay. And
Can
you
you hear
believe in
me?
God?
No, we couldn't hear
Yes.
you. That's why no one responding to you. All right, so you're at least 18, and do you believe in God? Which God do you believe in?
Christian.
Awesome. What do you think is
Christian.
the best evidence or best argument for the Christian God being real?
I don't know. I just want to know why he isn't real.
Because he's contradictory, and because the book that claims to reveal the deity is full of problems, like full of lies, full of untrue things.
It's full of historical inaccuracies, scientific inaccuracies, and logical inaccuracies.
Moral atrocities as well.
Yeah, that too.
You just prove that the Christian God doesn't exist. That's all I want.
I mean, we
Sure.
can just
So
give you a
if
syllogism. You want a syllogism?
if everything in the Bible was false, would it be reasonable to think the Christian God exists?
Everything in the Bible. I don't say the Chris. I don't believe in the Christian God because of the Bible.
You just said you're Christian.
So,
Yeah.
wait a minute. The Christian God is described by the Bible. What does it mean to not believe in the Christian God,
I
but not
believe in the
have it be
Christian.
because
I
of the
believe in the
Bible?
Christian God. I believe in the Christian God by natural revelation. The Bible is something that is
By
something
natural revelation.
that I believe in, bro.
And surely the
Yeah.
revelation, by revelation you mean the Bible, right? Like, I'm
That's
super
divine.
curious how
The
you
Bible is
arrive at
divine
the
revelation.
opinion that, the Savior was born in Bethlehem, if not through the Bible. Like, I
Oh,
don't know
no.
what
You
level of
derive
like a
that.
priori reflection would lead you to a conclusion like that.
No, you derive
God just
that
beamed
through
it
the
into his
Bible.
head.
But wait, I'm telling you, you derive stuff like that through the Bible. But I'm saying, if you're gonna prove God doesn't exist, you're gonna prove how His essence or nature is contradictory. You don't
Well, his
use the
essence and
Bible for
nature
that.
is described in the Bible, and if the Bible is wrong about everything, then we have good reason to think that that essence or nature is not correct.
Okay, what's wrong
I mean-
about the essence and nature that the Bible
Well-
describes?
The Trinity's logically absurd. That's why.
Okay,
So-
perfect. What's the logical contradiction with the Trinity?
Because Jesus can't be 100% God and then be distinct from God. Law of identity.
Yeah. So number one, that's not even my position.
Oh, so you,
Right.
you don't hold to the Trinity.
I do hold to the Trinity.
Okay, well then,
Is
is the
oh, go
Trinity
ahead.
I don't
Is the
I don't
Trinity
hold that
model
Jesus is
teach that
distinct.
Jesus was 100% God? Is he only part of God?
It depends what type. There's many different types of Trinity. Depends which one you're referring to.
Which one do you believe in?
Uh, um, I'm Western, so I believe in Thomas Aquinas' view on the Trinity.
He had the Catholic view, which is that Jesus is 100% God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if Jesus
For
is
sure.
100%
Yeah.
God, that means there's no distinction between him and God, correct?
Is there a distinction between Jesus and God?
Yeah.
Um, no.
Okay,
Is
that
there a
means
distinction between the Father and God?
No.
Okay, so the Father is indistinct, is identical to God. Jesus is identical to God. So it sounds like what you're telling me by the law of transitivity is that Jesus is identical to the Father.
No. Hold on. We wouldn't use a law. We wouldn't use Leibniz's law on. We don't. We only use Leibniz's laws on universal and particulars, not on God.
Wait
No,
a minute,
that's
I
so
know who this
special
not
is.
pleading.
true.
Hold on, we know who this is. This is the universal particular guy.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
that's also just false, right? You could say like,
Wait,
you know,
why?
Clark
Why should
Kent
Leibniz's
is
law?
100% Superman is 100% like Lois Lane's husband.
Well, the reason we say Leibniz's law doesn't apply to Trinity, right, is because Leibniz's law would conflate personal relation with the whatness. So we have the who-ness and the whatness. Leibniz's law conflates the who with the what. We have three who's, one what.
I just don't know how that gets you out of like a basic law of logic.
Leibniz's law isn't a basic law of logic.
If A is B, B is C, then A is C.
But yeah, that Leibniz's
The,
law
fa-
isn't a
the fact
basic
that you
law of
have to
logic. But
special
whatever.
plead for God
We're not
tells you
using
everything you need
Leibniz's
to
law.
know.
We're using the transitivity of identity.
Yeah.
What do you think the law of transitivity is?
It's a property of the identity relation. It's Leibniz's law is something else. It's something that's
All right, bro, we can move.
further on
We
down
can
the
keep moving stuff on. What's the
further down
logical
the road.
contradiction?
Yeah, we already
Well,
told
what's the
you.
Yeah,
law of
you
contradiction? I mean,
Jesus. So
yeah, you said
under your
Jesus
view,
and God.
Jesus
Yeah,
is identical. Under your view, Jesus is identical to the Father, which means that Jesus and the Father cannot count as two
wait.
distinct things because they're
No,
identical.
Jesus. Wait, who said Jesus is identical to Father? I never once made that statement.
If he's
Well, it
100%
follows
God,
from
that
the
means
law
he's
of transitivity
identical.
of identity. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So wait, number one, I'm an impure relativist. So you're trying to force me to make. I don't make absolutes about this.
Uh, wait, you're a
What
what?
you're describing is absolute
I
identity.
think what he
I
just
don't
said
hold to
was
absolute identity.
impure relativist. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm an impure relativist.
What do you not make
I have no
absolute
idea what
claims
that
about?
means.
I can make absolute claims, but I just say it's context dependent when it comes to Trinity.
But like, what's
So
the
special
domain of
pleading.
discourse that you don't make absolute claims about?
I just told you about the well I no I can make absolutes. I just say it's context dependent, but it wouldn't be absolute if it's context dependent. So I guess I don't make
This
absolutes.
sounds like a very roundabout way of special pleading. You're saying like, I don't make absolute claims about this thing specifically. Like, what would be the motivation for why
No,
you don't make absolute claims about this thing specifically?
no, I'm saying I don't make absolutes, right? Because the absolute would force it like it's not context dependent. I believe everything is context dependent. So all I'm saying is that there's context behind any absolute I say.
Is the claim that you don't make absolute claims an absolute claim?
I'm not. We're talking about absolute claims for the Trinity.
Brutal.
I can make absolute claims
He
on
just
other
got
stuff.
the Steve and Turek cook.
Yeah, I'm saying absolute claims on the. Yeah, typically I can make absolutes on other stuff, right? Because it's not as context heavy, context dependent. That's what impure relativism
Yeah.
So
is. It's just saying
sure.
something could be alike in one
So
sense
special
and be different in
pleading.
another.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
This is
Impure
What's
relativism
indiscernible
just says
for
something
me
could
to
be a.
special pleading.
What is the
Wait, special.
distinction, or what is the sense in which the Father and the Son are not identical?
Within personal relation.
A
Can you
relation is
elaborate?
not identity.
You said, what sense are the Father and Son not identical? I
Right.
told you
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
personal
what you
relation.
just say? So what personal relation?
Different who's. They're not the same who.
A relation involves more than one person. So who is the relation
Yeah,
between who
I'm
and
saying they're
who?
not.
What is the?
Are you asking what? Wait, you asked me what is the relation?
Yeah, yeah. Like what is what like? I'm asking you to elaborate. You just said personal relation. I don't know what that means. You gotta expand on that
Yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah. So all that means is that we have different subjects, right? Different subjects. It's not just one
Okay, so
subject. So
then,
we have,
so now would you say that God
and the relation. Hold on,
shares?
hold on. I'm about to tell you. And the relation between the
Would you say that
subjects is
God is
that the
identical
Father.
to Jesus in all aspects, including personal relation?
That's an incoherent question. God
Is
isn't a
it?
personal
It's a yes or
relation.
no question.
Well, neither is Jesus, but you said that
It's
Jesus and
incoherent.
the Father are different because they have different personal relation. So
Yeah,
I'm just using the same
they have
language that you
different.
used.
They have different personal relation. Wait, they have different personal relation because they're different subjects.
Okay, so I'm asking, does God have the same personal relation as Jesus, or does God have different personal relation from Jesus?
That makes no sense.
Look, you're able to compare the personal relation of Jesus and the Father, so I'm asking you to do the same, but with Jesus and
God,
God.
wait. God isn't a subject, so that makes no sense.
What?
So God doesn't have any identity, any personal identity.
He's using a mind?
He doesn't have
I
relations
said
with
God
anything.
isn't a.
That's
I said
wild. I
God
thought
is a
God had a
subject. You're
mind.
trying.
So he's an
A
object?
subject isn't a mind. When we say subject in this sense, the Father is a subject. The Son is a subject. Subject is a person. I mean the
So God
God.
isn't a person.
God.
I thought he was three
God is three
persons.
persons. Yeah. Yeah. Of
Okay,
course,
so
God
God
is three
isn't a
persons.
person. So God doesn't have a mind.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. God's implicator. God's implicator isn't a subject, and you're conflating it like a subject.
Okay, so God doesn't have a
That's what I'm
mind
telling
then.
you. God does have a mind, dude.
Oh, God has a mind?
What do you think a
So
subject is?
No, I don't define subject as a mind. I don't think there's three
What do
different
you think it
minds.
is?
No,
How would you define subject?
just as
hold
person.
on, there's a deeper issue here. God has a mind. Which mind is it? Is it the Father's mind, the Son's mind, or the Holy Spirit's mind?
That's a good question.
Hold on. No. These things are
Batman.
one
Sounds like
because they
polytheism to
have
me.
one mind, one essence,
Wait.
one
So
nature, one mind. They don't have
the
distinct
Father and the
minds.
Son have the same mind?
Yes,
That's weird because the
Oh,
Bible says that they don't.
I thought they were different people.
They have different wills.
they are
When
different
Jesus is in the
people.
garden, he prays,
Wait,
not my will be done, but your will be done," which means they have
how
different
can they have
wills.
how
They
can
have
they have
different
different mind?
minds.
How can they be different people but have the same mind? What does that even mean? What do you think a person
By
is?
people, we just mean persons. So you
First
can
word
Yeah,
have three
what
different
is it? What do you think a
Constantine.
subjects
person
in
is?
one mind. A person.
What do
I'm
you
not
think a person
defining a
is?
person like a human person. I'm defining person as a subject. Hypostasis. That's how I'm
Okay, so
defining
what
person. I'm
makes
not
them
defining
distinct
person like a human
subjects? What
mind.
makes them distinct subjects if they don't have distinct minds?
What makes them distinct subjects?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. The relation to who they are is all
Yeah,
different.
I'm asking what makes them
Oh,
have
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah, yeah, yeah.
relations to who
Oh,
they
yeah, yeah.
are.
I get your question.
What's the
Yeah, yeah,
feature
yeah.
that makes
So
them different?
it, it would just be in the relation to who. Like we have the paternity, right? We have the paternity the Father has towards the Son, and we have the Spirit proceeding from the Son and the
But they
Father.
have the same mind. And paternity seems like a property of a mind.
Yeah, paternity is not a property of a mind. No, what are you talking about?
Sure it is. I would think that paternity is like a state of mind and perhaps a biological relation as well.
What when we say
It's
paternity
like an
is just that the
attitude towards
Father.
someone, right?
Wait, how
No,
the fuck is
paternity is
God a
just that the
father and
Father.
Jesus if they're both co-eternal?
And
Yeah.
they share a
Wait, hold
mind.
on.
And they're not
Paternity.
biological.
When we say paternity, all we
This is
mean is that the
this
Father
is
is
a useless
internally generating
terminology.
the Son.
So the son is
Internally
Paternity is
is
just that the
generating.
contingent.
Son is
So Jesus
being
is
begotten of the
contingent? I
Father.
thought God was not contingent.
Jesus is not contingent.
He is
But
if
he
he's being
What are
generated.
you talking about? Do you know what it means to
You're
be
literally saying that
generated?
he's ontologically dependent.
Holy shit.
Bro, you can't take a person away from the Trinity. Every
The
person on the
pretzels you have
Trinity is
defend
dependent on
yourselves
him.
into
Is
is
there a
wild.
possible world where God no longer is generating the sun?
No, that's
He gets an
impossible. You
abortion.
can't have God without the
Okay,
Son. You can't have-
so wait, so you're
He
telling me
already
God
did.
doesn't have a you're telling me that God doesn't have a
Full-grown
choice?
adult abortion at 33 years.
No, it's
What
just,
trimester is that? The 96th trimester?
Hashtag
if
Jesus was
God is
aborted.
missing one of the persons, he's not God. That's the entire point. If he's missing one of the persons, he's not God. The Father can't do anything without the Son. The Son
So
can't
God
do
didn't
anything
have a
without the
choice in
Father.
so God didn't have a choice in begetting the Son?
A choice is when you have two or more options. You can't have an option with the contradiction.
Okay, so God was forced to beget the Son. Doesn't sound, or the Father, I'm sorry. So it sounds like the Father couldn't have chosen to not have a son.
Force. It's just it's not force. It's just the option doesn't exist.
So it's forced.
Yeah, that's kind of what it means.
It's like saying I was forced to do something logical, while the illogical option doesn't exist. So you just did what was logical. It's not like you're forced.
Well, I'd say that you're like I
What
don't
are you
know, like
talking
you're
about?
forced to not be able to draw a squared circle by the laws of logic.
That it doesn't exist, so it's not something there that you're
This is a
held
verbal
to.
dispute. I think
Like, what
that
are you
forced
talking
is an
about?
applicable term. If you don't like it, then we can use some other term.
For someone to force you to do something, the other option has to be
Yeah, he's like
available.
clinging
Contradictions
for
aren't
dear
available
life onto
because
the
they don't
semantic
exist.
point. I think forced is a totally acceptable thing
Let's
to
just say
say,
that
even if the thing constraining him is laws of logic. Do you think that God freely chose to beget the Son?
this is not a. This is something eternal. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But did he freely choose?
For what? There was no choice. This is him. This is just
Oh,
So to
who he
know.
is.
Yeah,
What?
sure.
I actually kind of want to back up a little bit. I'm
This is
still
who
very
he is.
confused.
Not-
How can a mind stand in paternal relation to itself?
Yeah, simple. You can have multiple subjects with the mind. It doesn't matter.
With a single mind? Can you? Can you give me an example of how that might
Yeah.
work?
You can have different subjects with a mind, with one mind.
With a single mind, yeah. Can you give me an example of how that might work?
Sure, but yeah, sure. You can think, right?
Sure.
Okay, I want you to think of 20 pizzas.
Okay, I'm thinking of 20 pizzas.
Done.
Okay, amazing. You have 20 different subjects?
No, I'm one subject.
I'm saying, are you
of
thinking
20
of 20 different subjects?
Yeah, those are objects. Conceptual objects,
No,
but they're objects.
Are they in a subject?
Are they in a subject? Are the objects in?
Yes,
Well,
are they in a subject?
I don't
Yes.
take concepts to really
Are pizzas a
like
subject?
exist in a place, really. But
Are
like-
pizzas a subject? Yes or no?
I think we're like equivocating on the word subject between like the subject of a sentence, which in this case they're not even a subject of a sentence because
Yeah,
there
they're
is
an
no
object.
sentence, and then like a
At best they're an
subject
object.
like
They're the-
something with
I'm-
subjectivity.
Bro, when I say subject
Pizzas
to
are
the
not
Trinity,
su-
I'm just referring to like, wait, are you gonna say pizzas are not subjects? Go ahead, say it. I want you to.
Pizzas don't have subjectivity.
Are pizzas a subject? In fact, the
depends
fact
on
that we
what
can even
sense.
speak
I mean, like-
about
Well, this
pizzas
debate
as
must
a
have gone really
subject.
bad for this guy if this is what he's got at this
I
point.
actually don't think
Yeah.
that there's a sense in which you could make pizza a
Yeah, I just
subject
have to
even
clarify for you
linguistically.
guys because this is so low tier.
Well, I
What
think
did you
maybe
say,
you can make
Blitz?
it like if what we're doing is equivocating on like subject between like subject like a thing with a mind and like subject like the topic of a sentence. I think you could probably talk about pizza as like the topic of a sentence.
No, but the subject of a sentence is the thing that takes an action, is the thing that performs the verb.
The pizza a aroma I don't know, man,
Bro,
filled the
we
room
can
with
just
its
skip around
aroma.
this. What?
Okay, yeah, no, I guess that can
Blitz,
work.
what don't you get? Wait, Blitz, we can skip around this. You were telling me you didn't get something. What don't you
Yeah,
get?
yeah. I don't get how a single mind can stand in paternal relation to itself.
What's the problem?
Well, typically paternal relations are between two distinct minds. At least that's how I understand them. Insofar as one
that's
mind
how
gives rise
humans
to
work.
another.
Yeah, that's
So
how
could you give me
humans
like
do
an
it.
example of like a way that you could have a single mind standing in paternal relation to itself? That's not begging the question.
There's no logical contradiction with it, right? So it's possible. God can so it's
I mean,
completely
then it's
possible
just
for
not
God
clear
to
what
do
you mean by paternal, because under the definition of paternal that is used in like standard English, there absolutely is a logical contradiction. Paternal is a relation
By
between
paternal,
two people, right? Between two minds,
no,
two beings.
by paternal, all I mean is there's a relation between who's and one who is generating the other who.
Yeah,
That's
what's a
it.
who?
A subject, hypostasis.
Yeah, it seems like you're just circulating because like
Yep.
I just told you. I gave you another.
I
I
ask
just
you
Now
gave
what
he-
a
you
who is,
now
another.
you
he's
I
say a
gave
just
you.
subject. I ask
gibbering.
you, okay, so what's a sorry, what's a subject?
I literally gave you another definition. I told you hypostasis.
That's not an English word. It's a Greek word.
Yes. Okay. Wait. It's
So I don't
still
speak Greek.
hard to
I
find.
want an English word.
Okay. If you want me to define a word for you, okay.
He's doing like the old Thomas trick where
Hmm.
you like gibberate with like really
Bro, this
complex
is normal.
jargon
Like
and then you
everyone
just like kind
says
of
this.
shift
What
it
are you
around,
talking
and when
about?
people try to get clear on the jargon, you just explain the jargon away with like 30 new pieces of jargon.
Bro, this is everyone. This is standard. What are you
Yeah, this
talking
is
about?
just semantic pettyfogging at this point. Now it's a
Hmm.
useless conversation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
is it
guess I'm
not Blix who wants to
curious.
know the definition of the word?
Yeah, well,
I'd
can you
love to
just
know
give a
what
word?
you
Can you
mean
give
by
like a definition
subject.
of like hypostases? Like, what do you mean by that?
Typically refers to the substance, but he doesn't know
Yeah.
what the substance
Yeah. The
is,
way
which
I'm
means it's
using it,
going to keep getting more
I just mean
circular.
by yeah. The way I'm using that word, I just mean the relation between predicates.
By the way, actually, there's a much deeper issue here. I'm sorry. There's a super deep issue here. So
Sure.
Yeah.
paternal is not a symmetric relation. Thing A can't have a paternal relation with thing B if thing B has a relation with thing A. Or if it, sorry, thing A can't have a paternal relation with thing B while thing B also has a paternal relation with thing A. It's not symmetric. It's directed, right? But if God has a single mind, and if Jesus and the Father share a mind, then that means that the Father, which has mind A, is in a paternal relationship with Jesus, which has mind A, and you can't have
They
anti-symmetric
don't.
an anti-symmetric binary relation between a thing and itself.
Wait,
That's
hold
like
on.
that is a strict
You're
contradiction.
defining.
If you take paternal
You're
relations
defining.
to not be symmetric, then it doesn't work.
You're literally defining it in the way I didn't define it. So how is there a
Do you
contradiction with
take
the way I defined it?
do you take a paternal relation to be possible between a thing and, or do you think a paternal relationship to be possible between thing A and thing B and also between thing B and thing A? Do you take it to be symmetric?
Do I take it to be symmetric?
Yeah,
That the Father generates the Son has to
that
generate
wasn't my
the
question.
No. But
Okay,
that's what we mean
right,
by
but they
paternal.
share a mind, which means that you have a mind standing in paternal relation with itself.
They are one mind.
Yeah, and that's the
They are
problem.
one mind. It's not like they have a piece of the mind. The mind is identical to them.
Right, that's the problem.
They're identical to the mind.
That's the
Huh?
problem, right? That's the problem. The
What's
problem
the
is that you
problem?
end up with a binary relation which is anti-symmetric, and yet supposedly you have the binary relation between a thing and itself.
Wait, by binary relation, like you mean 0 and 1 like that? Like what do you mean by binary
No, I don't
relation?
mean that. A binary relation is an operator on two
You just mean the
elements
opposite?
of a set, say. No, it doesn't mean that either. I thought you were educated on this
Wait,
stuff.
repeat
Guess
the
not.
definition?
A
Well,
binary
you're
relation is a
defining
specific
words
type of
completely different.
a binary relation is a specific type of mathematical term. It's used to specify relations between objects or between, things in general. A
Okay,
specific
you
kind
just
of relation.
repeated it. What is the relation? How are you defining relation? You're not defining these things.
You need the word relation defined for you.
So, I mean,
He said, what is
what
the
we can say is
binary
that we can
relation? He just told me
look if
the
do you
relation
want
things
do you want
have
the
with each other. Like what the hell?
do you want like a formal definition of a binary relation? Because I can give you one if you want. I can just read it for you.
I just want you to tell me how you're using
Yeah,
binary relation. That's all I want.
Given sets or collections x and y, the Cartesian product x times y is defined as the ordered pair of x and y, where x is an x and y is an y. These are little x and little y's, and its elements are called ordered pairs. A binary relation R over sets x and y, or classes x and y, is a subset of x cross y. The
That's
set x
fine.
is called the domain, or the
Whatever
set of
binary
departure of
relation you
R,
want.
and the set y, the codomain, or the set of destination of R. So, I mean, that's like the technical definition if you want it. But it's a
Okay,
broad
sure,
notion.
whatever.
It's basically used to specify when two things stand in relation to one another. That's where the binary comes from in the binary relation.
Okay, sure. What's the point?
The point is that at least under a standard English definition of a paternal relation, this is between a father and a son or a father and a daughter, right? And so that paternal relation is antisymmetric, meaning that if Joe is the father of, I don't know, Jonathan, then Jonathan is the son of Joe. Jonathan is not the father of Joe. So there's an anti-symmetry here. If Joe is the father of Jonathan, then Jonathan cannot be the father of Joe. It's an opposite relation, right? And so that means, because you have an anti-symmetry, that you can't have a thing being the father of itself. And yet you're referring to a single mind that stands in paternal relation to itself.
Yeah, there's no contradictions.
It literally
Just being put
contradicts
into-
what
Yeah, it
what a
does.
paternal relation is. We just went over this.
Wait, hold on,
Oh boy.
Wait, a paternal relation is just generation. That's how I'm defining it. So it would just be
Okay,
generation
so
to the
can a
son.
thing
There's no
so can a thing
contradiction with
generate
that way of
itself?
subsistence.
Can a thing generate itself?
It's not. That's the thing.
Well, you said that
What are you talking
Jesus
about?
is identical to the mind. The Father is identical to the mind. The Father is generating
Yeah.
Jesus, and therefore you have the mind
The
generating
mind, bro.
the same mind.
The mind is what?
Yeah.
Like, see,
If
you're
Jesus is
conflating
being
what with
generated
who.
by God, then Jesus isn't God.
Who is a type of what, my
Wait,
guy?
the mind. Wait, hold on. You don't even know what I mean by generate. The mind is who. I mean, the mind is what. You're conflating who with what. We're not talking about the what.
Who
We're
is a
talking about
type
the
of what,
who.
my guy?
I think what
Who
he's
is a
trying to
type of
say is
what?
that God is schizophrenic.
Who is not the what? The what is
Who
gonna
is a
be the
type of what?
mind, the will.
God's
I
schizophrenic.
disavow. Wait, Justin, you should.
I'm
Don't
not-
say that.
I'm not insulting God. I'm saying that this is the analogy
Disavowing.
that he's making.
I disavow.
Disavowed.
This is not an
No, but
insult.
actually,
this is
actually,
the truth of his
there actually-
claim.
There actually might be a like
There's a
an apt
movie about
analogy
this.
of
It's
somebody
called
with
Identity.
DID. No, sorry, not DID. What's it called?
Dr. Blitz, you're conflating who with what. You're conflating who-ness with what-ness. We're talking about the who-ness. Jesus, the Father, and the Spirit.
This is actually
the paternity.
I actually have a
The
question here.
paternity is
and
who,
this is
not
perhaps
what.
unrelated. So is it called DID, Ian? Is that
Yeah.
So what's your name? Jamie, do you know what DID is? It's like colloquially known as like multiple personality stuff, like multiple personality syndrome or whatever. Are you familiar with that?
Multiple, yeah, I know what that
Okay,
is.
so
Yeah.
so is the kind of way that that you understand God to be God is like the body, and then the different personalities in a person with DID would be like the rest of like the Trinity? Is that the way that you understand this? Because maybe that would actually
Bro, no.
like maybe that would help me understand what you actually think.
Bro, no. Look, the Son
He doesn't
is
even know what he
identical
thinks.
to the mind. The Father is identical to the mind. The Spirit is identical to the mind. Right?
Then
They're
there can't be a
identical to
paternal
the
relationship.
whatness. Wait, hold on. They're identical to the whatness. Paternity is who? They're identical to the whatness. They're not identical
Who is
to
a
the
kind of
who-ness.
what? Who is a kind of what?
Bro, when I say Lilo, when I say what, I'm just referring to the essence.
What is essence?
Essence is going to be the set of essential properties.
What are the essential properties of God?
Does God have accidental properties?
Because as it turns out, Jesus
No,
lacks the
no, I
essential
don't believe-
properties
no, I
of
don't
God
believe in
because he's not
accidental.
omniscient.
Damn, that's
Wait,
brutal.
hold on.
Another
Number one, I don't
contradiction.
believe.
Okay, so
I don't believe in
so he
accidental.
only has
But we're not
essential
gonna
properties, and
change
they
topics.
share an essence, so then they share all of their properties.
Yeah, they share all essential properties. Yeah.
Okay,
No, they share
and
all
those are all of their
properties.
properties, right? So they just share every property.
They share all essential properties. Yes. The same
Which
essence.
of course
they share,
are
yeah.
all of their properties because they don't have accidental ones. Correct? So the
Sure.
Father has
Yeah,
identical
sure.
properties to the Son.
We're back
No,
at square
that
number
once again
one.
you're conflating 2.
We're back
No,
at square
that once
number
again
one.
you're conflating 2.
We're back at square one.
You're conflating
Identity.
two-ness.
We came
Damn,
full circle.
another critical
The file.
blunder.
Wait, when you
All
mean
right,
properties,
Jamie, this has been fun, but
um,
I think your goose is cooked, and we've got more people waiting to get
I mean,
in.
yeah, you
And
low
I don't.
tiers are just something else. But
Bro, you're so low tier. You're not even on the fucking tier list.
Yeah.
Bro got an incomplete. He didn't even get an F.
That's devastating.
Shit. Oh man. All right. Well, let's grab our super chats. We'll get our next guest in here. David, thank you for the additional super chat. David says a viewer claimed marital rape was wrong. Wait, I'm confused. In which live stream are we talking about right now? I mean, we agree it's wrong.
There was I was
It is
wondering
wrong.
about this. I've been running this on some Christians lately. I don't think there's a place in the Bible where it outlaws that.
Oh no,
Maybe-
there's not.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get to the bottom of it. I've been trying to figure out like what in the Christian view, how would they scripturally support the thesis that it would be wrong to, I don't know, use like a roofie on your wife and then grape her? Like
I don't think
what sort
they
of biblical
would.
basis would they have
First
for saying like a
Corinthians-
thing like that is wrong?
1 Corinthians 7 tells you not to withhold it from your partner.
Okay.
Like
So then there's like
explicitly.
scriptural support in favor of
Wait,
that.
does it say, is that only for women or is that for men too?
For men.
So men shouldn't withhold it from their wives and women shouldn't withhold it from their husbands? Is that
Right.
Hey, at least that's chill.
At least
You
it was
shouldn't, like,
egalitarian.
Yeah, I mean, I always, I always learned that, like, you shouldn't use sex as a weapon.
Right. Dan, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Says the work you all are doing gives me hope for the future. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, Dan. We appreciate that, and we're trying to make the world a better place, one failed debate at a time, or one failed interlocutor at a time. Tad, thank you for the $10 super chat. It says Justin, Blitz, and Ian is the only Trinity I believe in, the unholy Trinity. Rock hard for Doug. Big W, Chad. Appreciate that, friend. And I do love getting into the weeds with the Trinity because there's just no good way to salvage it. It's a hopeless doctrine. That's why, like, when I debated the Catholic AI apologist, eventually I got him just to admit that it's a mystery, which means it's illogical and you just have to take it on faith, and that's fine. Marilyn, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Justin is 100% God. Well, good to see you, Marilyn. We're glad you think so. But I don't believe in any God. I do believe in our fans, though. I believe in you, Marilyn. And Eric, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, in my opinion, moral nihilism is entailed by determinism, which is self-entailed by the fact that thinking is a chemical process in the brain. Our choices seem to me to be merely effects of external causes. Think about that, Ian.
A couple of things to say about that. One, depending on your interpretation of quantum mechanics, you would probably reject, or like some interpretations would reject that determinism follows from the fact that it reduces to chemicals in our brains, that's what our choices are. But I also don't think, I think you could probably still have the problem re-arise because at that point you would have, everything is either deterministic or indeterministic. Neither of those are like free will, right? So I also don't think morality requires some sort of like, you being the uncaused cause of all of your actions. I think that it's sufficient to say that what it means to have free will is just that you take the action, like you are the proximate cause, the immediate source of the action. So insofar as that's like the view of free will that you hold to, I think that there's literally no problem at all.
Okay, dope. And yesterday in the...
Two things. Sorry. One, first, it's actually, even if you accept random interpretations of quantum mechanics, it's not clear that the brain would behave that way because, again, it's not clear that the brain is anything more than a classical object. And so, like, you can still make deterministic predictions about classical things, even if there's randomness in quantum mechanics, because that randomness is only present in certain conditions, right? It's only present when like a collapse occurs. But like if you have a system that's already collapsed, it's going to behave deterministically. Second,
sure.
and I don't know if anybody else got this, but Grimlock just sent me $100.
I got it too,
For
yeah.
Happy Solstice. So
Oh, shit.
from all of us, maybe not from Justin,
Well, my notifications don't work anymore. So I have
but
no
from
idea.
all of us, Grimlock, thank you for the Happy
Yeah.
Solstice, and a Happy Solstice to you too.
Yeah,
W,
let's get a
Grimlock.
big W for Grimlock. Grimlock, we appreciate all your
Enormous.
support, all of your love. It's been an honor to have you in our communities.
Grimlock's been
I
supporting
would tip
the
my
crew
fedora,
mega.
but I wouldn't tip
Oh,
my fedora, actually.
Please don't wear a fedora. You don't have a fedora, do you?
I don't. I actually lost it in Croatia. It wasn't a fedora, it was just a hat, but people
it's better
didn't
off.
like it, so I lost it anyway.
Yeah, you don't.
My
you
wife
don't
liked
need
it.
that. Did
That's
she
all that
though?
matters. She did.
she?
She told me to buy it.
Fair enough.
Literally, she was like that. Yeah, that's the one that you should get, because I was looking to try it because it's hot, Anyway,
Fair enough. Yesterday in the Western world, thank you for the super chat. Says the last caller had a deep dish dive on the hold the olives at discourse. Render unto Little Caesar what is Little Caesar's. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Little Caesar's has come a long way. Back in the day, it used to be trash pizza. Now it's pretty decent.
it was trash pizza for $4, and now it's trash pizza for $20.
You know what? Don't
Little
talk
Caesars is
back
yummy.
about the hot and ready. The hot and ready is not bad. Not bad
It's
at all.
actually pretty good.
And Miko, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Apologetics has committed millions of pages on why the non-existent is committed to not do anything. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. And last super chat for now from our friend Dr. Joe. Thank you so much. Says that deserves the participation trophy for the longest word salady conversation about nothing in UA history. Here's some funds for the trophy.
Look, we needed it. Apparently, we needed it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joe. I mean, I think you nailed it. I really think you nailed it. Thank you for that. All right, let's get our next guest in here. I think it's going to be Damien was in next. We had somebody before Damien, but they dropped out just a minute ago. You were almost there. Welcome in, Damien.
Hello.
Are you at least 18, and do you believe in God?
I am 18. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm over 18. I don't believe in the Abrahamic version of God as is depicted, especially in later ages, as this white-bearded narcissistic father in the sky who's judging everybody down here. And yeah, but actually, I wanted to hear your thoughts. Where do you guys, I know Blitz is a professional scientist. I'm not sure the other two gents there, but how do you feel about even the certain physicists and scientists coming out and describing consciousness as something that is the fundamental and outside of the human mind? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know why we would think like a physicist's opinion. I mean, this isn't about Dr. Blitz. It's about, I think, who is that? Is it Penrose that holds these wacky views about
No,
consciousness?
Penrose doesn't even. Penrose thinks that consciousness is a quantum phenomenon, but it happens in the brain. Like
Okay.
he's still a physicalist about it, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll have like Bernardo Kastrup, who's an idealist, but he's not a scientist. He's a philosopher, and apparently not a super highly regarded one. But
I've never
I'm
heard
just
of
hearing
him.
that. I'm just hearing that through the grapevine. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Do you have any? Can you name any people specifically that you're thinking of?
Yeah. And yeah, you just reminded me that the lines can be blurred between philosophy and science. Yeah. Okay. Donald Hoffman or a Peter
Isn't he a
Fenwick?
journalist? Isn't Donald Hoffman a journalist?
He's a professor
Oh,
of
he's a-
cognitive sciences.
Cognitive
Yeah.
psychology. So like
Yeah.
maybe he's equipped to say something about like the mind in like a psychological sense. I don't know why that would equip him to say something about like the mind in like an ontological sense.
Yeah. So like philosophy,
Right.
okay, the questions about like what is consciousness, I think it definitely spans across like a lot of domains like neuroscience, domains like cognitive science, domains like philosophy. But in general, like fields like cognitive science and neuroscience are way too young to be making strong claims about the nature of consciousness. And then in terms of like philosophy of mind, there's like a good deal of literature on it, but there's lots and lots of problems that are still open. So I don't think anybody has a good grasp of what consciousness is or the nature of it.
Ian, do you happen to know what the results are for the Phil Papers survey about whether, like, which way most philosophers lean regarding the, physicalism or idealism or
I think
whatever?
the majority are physicalists, although I'll check right now.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up too. Yeah, so a slight majority accept or lean toward physicalism, and then 27% accept or lean toward non-physicalism, and then the rest are other.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I guess most philosophers lean towards physicalism. So like people cite Donald Hoffman a lot because he wrote like a book that was on like a bestsellers list. But like I don't think that he's like, and not to speak ill of the man, I don't know how seriously he's taken in like the scientific community or in the philosophical community.
Yeah, I've talked about Donald Hoffman a couple of times, and I guess here's kind of where I'm at with the situation. I get like for any viewpoint, we can probably find a professional in a relevant field that agrees with us. I think if we're going to be like good students, we should try to figure out what the consensus of the field is, not what one guy thinks it is that we happen to agree with, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. It can just the oversimplification of all this can just get out of hand, especially with clickbait and social media. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll look into this more. There's other guys like Robert Lanza, the biologist, Philip Goff.
Oh, he is a
What do you think of
philosopher.
Maria Strom? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right,
Well,
thanks. I
I
just
can
wanted to
speak a
hear
bit
your
about like
thoughts. Yeah.
Philip Goff for a second. Like, I think
Yeah,
panpsychism
yeah.
has taken. I know like a lot of people who are very intelligent that take panpsychism quite seriously. Um, and I think that there's like kind of good reason for it. I'm not a panpsychist, I'm a physicalist, but there is like good motivation for it. Qualia is strange. It's very strange. It's not clear how that sort of thing would arise. And saying that it kind of exists and is imbued in everything, well, that helps to explain qualia.
Wait,
I
is
think that it has
panpsychism inconsistent with physicalism?
depends on your panpsychism.
Okay.
So you could hold that technically panpsychism is a form of Russellian monism. So you're just saying that there's like qualitative properties that are at the foundation of like the physical things that they're like intertwined with. There's like certain qualitative properties that are present there, and then panpsychism is then like the expansion of that into all of these things have like some form of like conscious experience.
Right.
So I don't know. There's good motivation for it. I'm not convinced by it. I think that it has like lots of parsimony problems. And maybe these are my own biases, but I also can't get over like my personal incredulity towards panpsychism.
Yeah, what do you mean to tell
Yeah.
me? Rocks have experience?
Yeah. Well, just one more thing. When like somebody like a Donald Hoffman, his whole so he doesn't think space time is the fundamental, and when you get
I
down
don't
to the
care what he
Planck
thinks about
length,
space-time.
you're
Like
yeah.
honestly, he's
Right.
a psychologist. Anything that he says
Yeah.
about physics should be taken with like a mountain-sized grain of salt.
Yeah, that was my
Right.
biggest complaint. When I read some of his papers, not his book, but some of his papers, because I had a guest that was really deep in Donald Hoffman. He just made some like pretty basic fundamental scientific errors, and to me, like this is expected because he's not a Dr. Blitz, and I'm not a Dr. Blitz. I make errors too scientifically all the time. But someone, if like you're trained in psychology, you need to stay far away from being a physicist or pretending to be a physicist.
This is why I don't this
Yeah.
is why I don't talk about biology a lot, right? Like I probably should know more about biology just because people bring it up in like evolution and stuff. But I'm like, look, like I know like what you learn in high school and maybe college. And if you want to know more, you got to ask a biologist.
Right. So, yeah, neuroscience is very young. Do you have any favorites in modern physicists that you really look to for, yeah, do you have any names you could recommend?
Probably Sean Carroll.
Sean
He's
Carroll.
probably the most the most active physicist who's also engaged in science communication, and that kind of thing. He's probably the best example. But look, we should probably let you go because we're not really on topic. We're actually like
Yeah.
mega far away from topic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
But thanks
thanks.
for
I
being
just
here,
wanted to
Damien.
run it by you. Yep.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course.
Cheers. All right, I think we got 3 super chats. Let me grab those real quick. We'll get our next guest in here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join using the link on the screen, tiny.cc/UA guest. What you say, Willis? Thank you for the $10. As I dropped into this live in the middle of the last call, I wanted to go back to bed. I don't blame you. But some people enjoy like deep philosophical conversations. To be fair, I thought that one was pretty good.
Or shallow philosophical conversations with the last...
True.
Oh wait, fuck, I'm sorry. I like the last guy. Sorry, that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
bad. I thought you meant like the first. I thought they were talking about the first guy.
Deplorable.
No, that last guy was totally chill. No, I
He was
apologize.
nice. He was nice. Deplorable Elk, thank you for the $10 super chat. It says scientific miracles of horizontal stream. Start watching late. Catch up live at 1.5 times. Convert heathen Ian in Shaduga? TS for Xmas. It should be Dr. Blitzen. Oh. Like evil scientist from 1986 game Dynamite Dan. I think you have 5 super chats in one super chat here. Let me see if I can understand what's happening. You didn't watch the stream, so now you're watching it
Look,
back
he paid-
1.5 times.
He paid for 150 characters. He's going to use all of them. Or she,
What's-
I shouldn't assume.
What's in Shaduga?
Like
It's
inshallah.
like inshallah,
I
yeah.
don't know what that means either.
But for dog.
It's like by God's will or something like that in
Oh.
Arabic.
I could go for that. Yeah, well, listen. Merry Christmas, and I agree. It's going to be Dr. Blitzen for the Christmas season. It just kind of has to happen now. Lose the Dogma, thank you for the 666. Hill Nero says Thomas Campbell is a physicist. My big toe.
No, he's not a physicist. I've looked through My Big Toe, which is a book that he wrote. Toe meaning theory of everything. There's not a single equation in the book.
Oh boy.
You can't write a physics book claiming to have a theory of everything without a single equation.
Yeah, that seems preposterous. Eric, thank you for the $5 super chat. It says, I don't think being a proximate cause is sufficient to make morality coherent. A clock causes a ticking sound, but doesn't choose to do so. That's an interesting point.
I'm not sure what the contradiction would be with holding that you do have morality insofar as there's reasons that everybody has for action, and then also the extent to which we have free will is that our brains are the cause of our actions. Like maybe if somebody wants to spell out like the P and not P contradiction with that view, I'd be like super curious, but I have no reason to think that there's any problem here.
Well, you heard it from the horse's mouth. Joey, thank you for the $5 super chat. It says, as a fan of trickster gods, I found myself in a kitty cult. All hail Volta, Lord of Chaos, meow. And he is. Volta is. He's a bundle of chaos. In fact, right now, he's on the desk in front of me picking on his brother, trying to start a wrestle match on the desk. So we'll see where that goes. Friends, let me grab our next guest. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to join is tiny.cc/UA guest. If you're watching on TikTok, all you got to do is hit the guest request button and we'll pull you up. I think next in line was David's and then Toltix, if I saw them come in the right order. Welcome in, Davids. Are you at least 18 and do you believe in God?
I am 18 and I am recently converted because of a surgery.
Okay, so you recently converted to what?
Interesting.
Secularism, atheism.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh. Well, welcome to the party, but we are looking for opposition only.
I would appreciate
okay.
you stopping by, though. It's good to hear from you.
Yep.
Dope.
Glad to hear
Thanks,
that.
Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah. Well, he had like the reverse NDE basically, I would imagine. Okay. Let's get Toltecs in the guest box. Welcome
I'm
in,
so sorry. I'm not.
Toltecs.
I'm wasn't trying to join this.
Welcome in, Toltecs.
Hi. Yeah.
All right, you're driving. We're gonna move on to the next one. Let's get William in here. You can't drive in live, friends. It's against the rules of the platform. Welcome in, William. Are you at least 18, and do you believe in God?
Yes, I believe in the creator.
Awesome. And does the creator have a name or a religion or a book?
I don't know. Certainly with a religion more than almost a fingerprint he left behind in his math.
Okay, so you don't belong, you're not Christian or Muslim or anything?
No.
Okay, gotcha. You just believe in generic creator. So sounds like you've got a math a math god. I'd love to engage with this, but Ian and Blitz, I think, would probably have an easier time doing that.
Yeah, sure. Tell us more about your
369.
math god.
369. Damn, you're fine.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the math god.
So I believe that right now we're living on time run on 8,760 hours. I believe his fingerprint is we used to run off of 8,766 hours. Now,
Wait, hold
if
on.
you
Where
start
does the
stacking those years,
8,760 hours come from? What's the deal? What do you mean we're living on time?
that's
What
that's
does that
as
mean?
many hours. That's as many hours it is in a year.
8,760. Okay.
Yes.
Why
So
does
if you
that mean that
take,
we're living on that? What is that? But what does it mean to live on that?
I mean, that's how the entire MS world's structured.
Well, I mean, I hate to be the guy to do this, and I'm sorry to butt into the conversation, but the number of hours in a day has changed over the years because of tidal friction. So, for
Correct.
example, like during the Denovian period, it was like 22 hours in a day. So,
Damn.
But it was always the
Correct.
same number of hours in a year. It's actually
But there's something hidden that we're all missing.
Sure,
That we're just all missing.
true.
That's a good point.
But so like
So if
but like
Wait,
what?
hold on.
Why does it matter how many hours there are in a year?
How can you get the same number of
Because
hours
when-
in a year? Oh,
Because
because you're
there was
going
more
around
days
the
in
sun.
a year.
I'm an idiot. Just
Yeah.
ignore what I said. man.
You're an
that's
idiot,
okay.
you know.
But that's where it's wrong. That's what we're not supposed to be counting time. That's where we're completely wrong.
But like we can just
That's not his
get a
fingerprint.
stopwatch. We can just get a stopwatch and count how long it takes to go around the sun.
Right. If you want to count 60 seconds, 60 hours in a
That's
60
what an hour
seconds
is.
in an hour.
3,000. An hour is 3,600 seconds. It's just what an
Right. So
hour
how many
is.
hours are in a day? How many hours would you say be in a day?
20. It depends on which day you're talking about. If you're talking about sidereal days or diurnal days, but the standard notion of a day, which is the amount of time it takes for the stars to appear in the same place, is 23 hours, and it's like 20. Wait, hold on. I always get this backwards. It's like 23 hours and 56 minutes.
Correct.
And
Yes.
then a diurnal day is
So
24 hours.
right. So the math that I'm going to be showing will just show completely different. It's almost like a harmonic signature that's completely flawless in math, and it matches up with cosmic events.
But
So
do we
like
agree
hypothetically,
that,
do you know
that the amount of hours in a year is like, well known?
for 24
correct.
hours? Is that?
I'm not talking about anything
yeah, I
about
mean,
days. I'm talking about a year.
For how many hours in a year? The 8,000. What's going for right now is 8,760. That's what's in books and just
Let's say
everything. That's what they're
correct.
teaching right
Then
now.
like, okay, so let's say that's correct. Then like, why should we think that that's wrong? Because like you could just get at a stopwatch and
Because
measure it, right?
no. So if
No?
with
What would happen? What would
8,766,
go wrong?
it would show
The fucking CIA
continuous,
shows up and
flawless
shoots you.
geometry math. Now,
I
like
didn't
now, like for
understand
instance,
anything that you just
I'll just
said.
give I'll just give you a quick instance really quick. So what is it? Captain Cars, I believe it's 6174. I believe, right? And now for that, it's only known
Wait a
for
minute,
one
hold on,
thing,
hold on.
I believe,
I
correct?
did just double check this. So the length of a year is exactly 31,557,600 seconds, which is actually 8,766 hours, not 8,760 hours. So I'm not sure why you said initially that it's 8,760 hours when that's not correct.
You're saying that it's saying 8,766.
Yeah, that's the exact number of hours in a year. I mean, there's and some change, of course. Like it's like it's not exactly that, but like we could add and change if you want.
So have you guys ever heard of Captain Cars, the 6174?
What the fuck does any of this have to do with God?
I'd love to know.
All right, never mind. I just was trying to convince you about the fingerprint, but I mean,
But what does that have to do with
I don't
God?
even know what that means.
you're a good
And I have
person.
no idea what
No,
this has to do
it's
with
fine,
God.
man. It's fine. I'd rather just not continue. It's cool. I appreciate your
that's
time.
fine.
You're good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
hey, thanks for coming on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, that was something. Okay.
Damn, I like hurt his feelings. I don't know.
I think that might have
Maybe
happened.
it's too harsh.
Maybe.
I don't know. He's kind of beating around the bush. I suspect he kind of knew the argument wasn't going to work, but I mean, at least he tried. Let's grab some super chats. We'll get our next guest in here. Serial Dude says we need the co-host to address the allegations. Is he actually Ian? Well, allegedly.
Yeah, maybe.
Has not been tried in court yet.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
right
Ian
now
will see
it's
their day in
currently
court.
all allegations. When the jury deliberates, I'll be able to tell you for sure.
But then there will be an appeals process, and
Takes forever. Milf Brangler, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says if God accepts donations, made people pay thousands to get into heaven, and knows if you haven't paid, does this imply God has an IRS department? Well, I mean,
God doesn't need one. He knows
doesn't-
everything.
Well, that's true. If he's omniscient, he doesn't need an IRS department tracking anything. Fair point. So answer to the question is no. Mr. Key says bro had a near life experience. Yeah, yes, indeed. and Jay Danger says, who is the trickster figure in Christian myth? I mean, there's a bunch of them.
Pretty sure it's the father.
Perhaps. Jacob is typically known as one of the tricksters of the Bible, but there's been a few of them. JL, I like JL. She's a good trickster. Bumble Mint, thank you for the $20 donation. We really
Let's
appreciate
go,
that.
Bubblemint. Thank you so much.
And Kane says, I didn't know you guys liked the musical Rent. I've never seen it, so I can't comment.
I like the musical Rent.
I
I'm
saw it a
Rent
long
fan.
time ago. Yeah, I'm a Rent fan as well.
Yeah.
I saw The Lion King in New York, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
On Broadway. It was amazing. It was so good.
Deplorable Elk did send some clarification. In Shaduga equals if Doug wills it. Also, shame on you for character maxing shaming. Wait, what's that? I don't know what character.
He's character maxing, right? He's getting as much as he can out of his characters.
Oh, I'm not shaming it. It just takes me a while to catch up because I'm an old guy. Also, can you please imagine 20 pizzas again? Mine's just arriving. Unfortunately, I failed to imagine them in my house, which is why I'm still hungry. And Poopman, thank you for the super chat. Says, does the Trinity pay for separate phone plans, or is it a family plan?
Or do they only need one plan? Do they have to call each other?
It's not clear. It's just not clear. Love y'all. Physics explains the universe. Atheism respects the silence beyond it. I couldn't agree more.
I like that.
Eric, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says premise 1, morality only applies to moral agents. Premise number 2, moral agency does not actually exist, since brains have no ability to act otherwise, and they do. Conclusion, morality has no reference and thus does not exist.
Okay, wait. So it only applies to moral agents, but moral agents don't exist. Therefore, morality doesn't apply to anyone. Okay. I don't grant that you need the ability to do otherwise in order to have moral agency. To me, moral agency just means that you have specific goals and then you take actions to achieve those goals. So I don't see what the problem with holding that view would be.
I suspect, and I could be wrong, I think his argument is that agency itself doesn't exist, that we're merely chemical processes. We don't actually have the ability to make decisions.
Well, I think that agency just is the chemical process. I think that what agency refers to, on my view, is just the fact that, you're the source of your actions. You have like a deliberation process, and that process is deterministic. I agree with that. It's like a deterministic deliberation process, but you deliberate, you set your goals, you decide what you want to do or what you're going to do or what would be the best thing to do. And then you act on that. So insofar as there's certain reasons that everyone has for action, just on pain of contradiction, well, that would indicate that there's certain actions that are obligatory, which means that on that basis, morality could exist.
Fair. All right. Thank you for the super
Bring on our
chats,
next
friends.
guest.
We're going to bring in Laptop. We've talked to Laptop before, so I assume we'll have something fresh and new here. Welcome back, Laptop.
What's up, boys?
We already know that you're at least 18 and that you do believe in God. Refresh my memory, though. What kind of God do you believe in?
I'm Christian.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you bring a new argument for us today?
Yeah, I mean, I was curious about Dr. Blitz's view
Are you driving?
I'm just about pulling up to church, so I'm probably gonna have to dip in like 30 seconds. So
You should have lied and said you weren't driving. Now we have to dip you before 30 seconds, my friend.
Yeah.
oh
sorry
yeah,
about
no,
that.
I'm just pulling in. So yeah, I was
It's a
just listening
shame.
to you guys last
Well,
half hour or so.
I mean, come back when you can, Laptop. We've talked to you before. We don't mind talking to you again.
All right,
It's
let's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah,
TikTok
sorry,
terms of
boys.
service thing.
It's against TikTok terms of service. You
Yeah,
can't
no,
be
don't
Later.
worry.
Yeah, Laptop's been
Justin,
nice,
how
though.
could you encourage a Christian to lie?
I mean,
Do you want him to go to hell?
I'm not a moral realist.
Fair enough. But God is, probably.
True. I'm a utilitarian. All right, let's grab our next guest. It's going to be Video Clouds. I don't think we've talked to Video Clouds. And then we'll get living proof from the YouTube queue after this. Video Clouds, welcome in. Are you at least 18 and do you believe in God? Video Clouds? Are you up here by accident, friend?
Video clouds.
Do you know you're up here right now? Okay. I think they butt dialed. I don't think they meant to be here.
It happens sometimes.
It does. It does happen. All right. Well, I guess we'll get living proof into our conversation then. Give me 1 second. Welcome in, living proof. Are you at least 18 and do you believe in God? And are you connected?
Says he's muted.
On my end, it says he's not.
Weird.
Living proof? Hello?
Oh, wait. Hold on. He sent a message, I think. No, never mind. Yeah, he said, I'm here. Try refreshing living proof and we'll bring you back up.
Yeah, refresh your browser. I don't think you're fully connected, my friend.
Yep.
I think that's the issue. Well, we're waiting for living proof to come back. Friends, if you're watching on TikTok, the TikTok queue is finally empty. So if you want to join us, now's a good time to join up and get to the front of the queue. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to join is tiny.cc/UA guest. There's a clickable version of the link in the description of the video. If in fact you don't want to type it in, you just want to be able to click a link, we can get that going for you. Now I think living proof is connected. Welcome
Yeah,
to
I see
living
them too.
proof.
Hi, thank you. How are you doing?
Welcome.
Doing good. Thank you for asking. Living proof, are you at least 18 and do you believe in God?
I certainly am, and I certainly do. The Christian one before you ask.
Awesome. And what do you think is the best evidence or argument for the Christian God being real?
Yeah, there's loads. I don't want to bore you with the same stuff you've got before. I've listened to a little bit of all of you guys. I'm not here to preach or win. I just wanted to bring up something maybe a bit newer based on something a previous caller just brought up on this actual live. it was actually regards to the panpsychist argument, the fact that there is
Yeah.
I think your mic cut out again. I can't hear you. I don't know. Can you guys hear him?
I can't hear him.
Yeah.
Living proof. I don't know what happened. You might need to refresh.
Let me check the. Oh, he didn't.
I'm
Okay.
careful
He's
if
refreshing.
if his connection's just not good.
But you would have gotten a notification that's like he's in the yellow bars or the red bars, right?
Typically, yeah, you do.
In the meantime, you need to fix the display for where.
Oh, it's off because oh, hold on.
It was
wait.
just showing up in like the top left corner or something.
What? Top left corner.
At least it was on TikTok when he was here, but it's not anymore.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right. For the vertical. Sorry, not the for the yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right. Yep, I didn't adjust that yet. You're right. You're right. Yep. Let me get that.
Okay, he's back. Unmute him.
Drag that
perchance?
back into position. All right, we'll try this again. Hey, welcome back, Living Proof.
There we go.
Hey, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yep, all
Yes.
good. Yep, you were you
Great.
cut out at like panpsychism.
Yeah, there's a lot of sorry about that. I don't know what keeps happening with the cutting off. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Mhm.
Just been a lot of new research coming in regards to, or not necessarily research, just a lot of discussion and talks and kind of like the philosophy realm regards to consciousness being fundamental. I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that. Maybe something from Ian.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things to say. I'm inclined towards models that are physicalist. I think that the physical is causally closed, but I think I'm open to the possibility of like a Russellian monism. I'm open to the possibility of like a panpsychism. The problem is that I'm not sure how I would get from panpsychism to God, and I'm not sure if you're just here to talk about like panpsychism in general. But if it turns out that at the foundation of reality is quiddities, where there's these like physical things that have like qualitative properties, that seems like a view and philosophy of mind that's like, it's a bit weird, it's a bit out there, but it's not, it's not crazier than a lot of views in philosophy of mind. So
Yeah. It's just a question I wanted to raise up regards to that, because that's really interesting. And if you were to just accept it and say that there is some sort of I don't know, foundational consciousness, it really helps the theist think about it as just to simplify it and say that there is it all comes down to one conscious entity controlling it all, or at least you can say that it all derives from one prime source, and then you could just, I don't know, put a label on it and call it God. And
that's interesting, although I'm not entirely sure why we would.
why you would what?
I'm not sure
Accept
why
it?
it would. So, okay, let's say panpsychism is true. Let's say that consciousness, that there's like components of consciousness or qualia that are like embedded at the foundational level of reality, that there's like an intrinsic like qualia to the specific wavelength for blue and red, etc. That all these things have like specific qualitative experiences to them. I'm not sure why it would follow from that that these things must be like sourced by one single consciousness.
Yeah, I guess constants, things that act in a very precise way. I guess arguments regards to, are we in like a closed or an open system? If we are in an open system, then it just gives more space to the fact that energy could be created by whom. Again, there's many of these points that you can string together, and if you're correct on all of these points, it completely flips the script, and you have to consider these things. I really think you should look into arguments that Alex O'Connor's made, because he puts it in better words than I ever could, and pushes that these concepts. And if again, maybe one or two of these fail, but if you put them all together, it at least brings you to a deist concept. And then it just follows that you can look at all the religions out there, and the most popular one, Christianity, that does have so much backing. You could easily link it to Christianity.
Oh, I don't think
And
so.
then there you go.
Christianity is dead in the water.
And
Yeah.
it seems like
Well-
what you're saying is, if we grant all of these things that at least many people have reason to be skeptical of all of them, then you get closer to a God existing. And like, yeah, sure. If we grant that the universe had a beginning, if we grant that creation is possible outside of time, if we grant that consciousness is fundamental, if we grant that it's possible to be all loving, all powerful, and all, like, sure, if you grant all of these things, then sure. But like, that's just saying, yeah, if you grant that
God logic is different from ours.
If you grant that all of the God arguments work, then yeah, of course you're going to be closer to believing in a God. It's just okay.
Certainly.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'll give like a piece of pushback. I think that you can have like very similar problems arise in panpsychism, or I don't see any reason why I would prefer panpsychism to like physicalism. And then we have like prima facie good reason to be physicalists over panpsychists, just on like parsimony considerations. That
Okay,
it's
then
just like a
what's creating the blue?
what's creating
What
what?
makes what's creating how can you describe the experience, the entire experience of blue to me? Like, what's creating that specific effect to where do you know what that goes beyond words, to where you can actually have that blueness? And so again, there's many gaps, and God fills them. And if you want to say it's God of the gaps, whatever, give me your
Clear,
answer.
God doesn't fill them.
Yeah, well, to be clear,
no,
like what
it
you'd
does.
be doing at that point is just
What-
like positing these things. Like you're just saying like they're like foundational and explained.
Sure.
Okay.
no,
But
that's
also,
fine. I can, yeah.
by the way, God existing doesn't fill them, because
Yeah,
the gap. Let me explain. The gap that the physicalist has is, how do you go from a physical thing causing, qualia? But if God exists and consciousness is fundamental, then you get a separate gap. Why is it that qualia responds to physical things?
That's a good point. So also in terms of I draw a distinction in terms like the Mary's room stuff that you're kind of gesturing at, like what set of physical facts could help you understand what it's like to see blue. We can draw a distinction between knowing that versus knowing how. So knowing that is the set of facts that you're kind of looking for, like
Sure.
the set of like written in sentences facts. And that doesn't need to necessitate every aspect of physical reality, because there could also be facts that are like knowing how. For example, like knowing how to ride a bike. For example, there's going to be like something there that's not reducible to like words, right? Like there's probably there's no extent of like manuals that you could write that would teach
hang on,
somebody
Ian.
how to learn or how to know how to ride a bike. But I have no reason to think that like knowing how to ride a bike couldn't be like a physical thing. So
Are you a
blue could
physicalist?
likewise be like a knowing how versus a knowing that.
Are you a physicalist? I thought you were.
I'm inclined towards physicalism. I don't have strong views on the matter,
Okay.
but I'm inclined towards physicalism. I think it's more parsimonious, and I don't think it's any less intuitive than any of the other philosophies of mind.
Yeah. So if you're, I don't know, I guess you're a physicalist and then some, then you're absolutely on my side as well.
I'm not sure if I'm like a
Potentially.
physicalist and then some.
Well, you consider what are because you said stuff about numbers and them being, I don't know,
Sure.
them being real.
Yeah, let me go ahead and clarify that. So when I talk about physicalism in this sense, I'm speaking strictly about the mind, that the mind reduces to the physical. And I believe that the physical reduces to, or is perhaps like identical to, some mathematical. So, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah.
So you're so close. You're so close. Okay, we'll get you there, Ian. In terms of Blitz, he's probably too far gone. He's too smart.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
just to lead into the
Justin
hordes.
seems- Yeah, Justin seems like he genuinely did believe maybe he could come back. I don't know.
Well,
No,
I mean, okay,
Christianity's dead in the water. I could possibly be persuaded to believe in like a generic deistic
Yeah, no, that's fine.
force, but not in a
yeah,
million years would Christianity ever work. It's got too many
okay,
contradictions and it fails every test of authenticity. But again, I have no
sure,
reason to believe in a deistic God above just a naturalistic force. So
sure.
a
I
deistic
can
God seems almost indistinguishable from a naturalistic force, and a naturalistic force
look.
is like the minimal amount that you need.
Sure. I can agree with you. It's not perfect. I won't say that it's completely perfect. Humans are corrupt, and we've corrupted Scripture. It's a simple answer. I think that even if you don't hold to a Christian God, we can get you to a general theistic belief, and I don't think God would. Again, that's
No,
my
I don't
belief
think you
that
can
it
though.
doesn't really matter which God you believe in, because I think God is beyond that, and he would look into your heart and he would see that you have a genuine
Well, unfortunately,
uh,
Jesus says that nobody enters the kingdom of heaven unless they're born of the water and the Spirit, and I'm certainly not.
absolutely, and that's where I've been born into. So that's the scripture I'm going to hold to, and God sees my heart and sees that it's a consistent belief, not something that can easily be
Yeah.
swayed to another.
Christianity is complete nonsense to me that you're going to be punished for all eternity or rewarded for all eternity based on what you believe. Why is
That's
hell
just
even in
separation.
existence?
It's just separation. You get what you choose for.
Well,
You
unfortunately, you
get what
don't
you choose.
choose what you believe. Like, I didn't choose to not believe. I'm just unconvinced, right? It's not a choice that
Yeah.
I made, which means to be tortured for all of eternity for a choice
No,
that
no.
I
So you
didn't
agreed
actually
to it.
make is quite preposterous.
Okay, so let's say I made an agreement with you prior to you having your mind erase that if you chose this thing, then that's the decision that would happen, and you agreed to
Again,
that,
this
and
is
then you
going to
had your
fail
mind
because what
erased.
you believe isn't a choice.
well, I also just
Sure,
to add like
what
something to
you
that,
believe isn't a choice, but you can.
I don't think that like agreeing to something and then having your mind wiped and then like having that thing enacted on you actually like fixes the problem very much, right? Like, if you wake up one day and there's like a person in a room who just beats the fuck out of you hours at a time, and then, at the end of like 24 hours, they hand you like the briefcase of money, and then you're like, what the fuck? And then they like play the video of you agreeing to it. Like, I actually don't think that makes things fine.
But in my heart of hearts, I would be like, yeah, well, I did agree to it. Fuck, I agreed to it. But
I wouldn't think
you
that
agreed to it.
well, I wouldn't think that that's an okay exchange.
No, but you agreed to it.
Well, I think that you need the ability to like have your consent and the ability to like revoke it. It needs to be like continuous, ongoing consent, like you're consenting to the activity. The fact
Oh,
that you
stop it.
consented to have like your like mind wiped and then you have the thing
Yeah.
happen, like I just don't think that that's okay. I think that's a violation of autonomy.
But you see what I'm saying? We can't just stop you. Oh, are you still agreeing with it? No. It's agreed to prior that if you go along with this, you're gonna have your mind erased as well. So
you
there's no
you
going
actually
back.
would
So
be
if
okay with that scenario that I described? Like
I
you wake
wouldn't
up,
be
you get
happy
the
with it, but
fuck
I've
beat
agreed
out
to
of
it,
you,
yeah.
and then somebody turns on the tape of you like agreeing to it, and then you're like, oh, whatever.
You're making me bite some. But yeah, I'll bite it. Yeah, I'll say that I would agree
Okay.
to it because I'd have agreed to it. You see, so I wouldn't agree to it, but if I agree to it, then I've agreed to it. So sure, I
Okay.
agree to it.
That's like seriously unintuitive to me.
Yeah, it also seems to be
Well, I wouldn't
problematic
agree
that
to
there
it.
would be an entity that would make such an agreement. Like the entity that would make such an agreement is clearly an evil entity.
No, I think that there's goodness, higher forces. I'm kind of gesturing towards a limited God, but I think that's where our knowledge ends. And I think that there are higher forces, and there's more. There's the equation is a lot deeper than if you really sit down and we go through it together. I think that you'd be able to see the full entire equation. But
I don't
where
think
my
so.
knowledge gap ends, I can just hold in the fact that I have faith, and then I'm completely shielded from all this kind of bullshit where you want me to
Yeah,
swallow massive bullets and
but
say that
faith
I'm
isn't
evil and
something that
God's
you
evil and
can
all this kind
choose
of.
to have. You can't choose to have faith.
Yes, you can.
No, you
Yes, you
can't.
can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Faith is
You can.
a
Okay,
state of
yeah.
belief, and
You
you don't
can and
get
you
to
can.
choose what you believe. Okay, so believe right now that you're being torn apart by a lion.
Look,
You can't fucking do it
I
because
don't
you don't
know.
get to choose what you
There's
believe. A
a
belief is
scenario
a
where I could. Yeah,
statement of
absolutely.
mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could actually absolutely believe. Okay, so I don't
Do
know.
it.
I'm
Do it
sure
right
that
now.
there's a substance out there that could make you believe
No,
anything, right?
you
The
do
truth
it.
theorem.
Have
You
faith
could.
right now that you're being torn apart by lions.
Come on, you know what I'm saying.
I
You
know
can
that
and you
I
can.
know that
So
you're lying.
in the
You
scenario that
don't
you
get to
can,
choose what you believe.
you can
No,
absolutely.
you can't.
You can.
Then do it right now.
In the way I'm talking about it, I mean
You,
it in the
you
way
can't do
where
it.
it's
Okay,
as
just
if
checking.
if the stakes are as dire as they are, you will choose to believe it. Simple
you
as.
won't.
Yes, you will. If the stakes
No,
are
you
dire
won't.
enough, you will. Okay, so in that
Just
scenario that you gave me,
restating your
what is the
conclusion.
consequence if I don't believe it?
Restating the conclusion
No,
doesn't make
answer
it
the
more
question.
true, and the stakes are a little bit irrelevant. We know that the stakes are quite high in terms of being tortured for all eternity, which means if people could choose to believe
There you
that
go.
they,
It's separation, by the way. Go ahead.
it's not. So if people could choose to believe that they're going to go to heaven, they would just do it. They're not doing it because you can't
Sure.
do it. We didn't choose to not believe this nonsense. We just believe it because
Okay,
it
so
is
we've pivoted
nonsense
back.
and it's
Okay.
logically incoherent.
Are you gonna answer my question?
I just did.
No, you didn't.
I
So
did. And
what
you also didn't
is
ask.
the
You didn't
consequence?
ask a question.
What's the consequence of being? Okay, let me go back. So you asked me, could I believe now that I'm being torn apart by a lion?
Which
I'm
is
asking
which
you.
is interesting that you didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
You just restated it. Can you believe right now in this moment that you're being
I
torn
said
apart by
yes.
lions? Then do
Yes,
it.
I said yes, and I
Prove it
said,
then.
hold on.
Prove it.
I said yes, and I said no. I said,
Well, it's
I
a
can
lie
understand.
until you do it.
Okay. So, and I see what you're doing. You're very clever. I'm not as smart as you, so
I'm
I
not
get that. Okay, so
clever.
what I
Justin,
mean.
you're very clever.
Okay, so what I mean. Okay, hold on. What I mean is, you need to answer my question. I'm asking you.
No,
what
I'm not
are the
answering your
stakes?
question until you determine the truth of the claim, whether or not you can believe that you're being torn apart by lions right now.
Yes, you can.
Right now,
in the same
based
way,
based
because
on what
I'll
we've
show it to
seen,
you.
you can't
I'll show
actually
to
do
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm back on track now. I'll show it to you. Answer my question first. I've been very honest with you. You can be honest with me.
You haven't been honest with
what-
me. You lied about being torn apart by lions, which is now why I'm holding your feet to the fire.
Yes, you can. No.
In fact, I'm going to fucking
okay,
feed you to the
I'm
lions
happy. I'm
if,
happy.
if you don't prove that you're not lying.
And I'm glad that's the thing that you're saying I'm lying on, because I'm gonna answer your question. But you
Then
need
do
to
it.
You need to help. You need to be honest with me as well, and just
You already
answer
gave
the
me
question.
the answer. I want the proof.
Hang on here. You're just. I already told you I'm not very intelligent. Can you slow it down for me a minute and be
You
honest
already
and
you
answer
already
the question
gave
and
me
we'll
the
move forward.
answer. I'm asking you to prove it.
Okay. So in it doesn't work if you don't answer my question.
It does work.
Are you gonna answer my question?
You said you can prove that you can believe right now that you're being torn apart by lions. All I'm asking you to do is to do it.
Well, I can actually. I have the answer loaded, but you need to help me.
Actually, you
help
already
you.
got the answer. I want the proof.
So your answer is, so I asked you, what's the consequence? And your answer is what?
Still waiting.
So,
You
if
can-
I don't believe
you can
I'm
delay
being
the
torn apart
inevitable
by a
all
lion-
you want. It doesn't matter how
hang on,
long you
hang on.
delay the inevitable. Everybody knows what's happening. Everyone sees it.
Hang on. If I don't get torn apart by a lion, or if I don't believe I'm being torn apart by a lion, what's the consequence?
Doesn't matter. We're asking whether or not you can believe
It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm glad everyone can hear
The
the fact
nervous
that you're not being
laughter
honest
isn't
here.
going to help you here.
Okay, so it doesn't
So
matter,
prove it.
right?
Still waiting for you
Okay,
to prove it.
But that's not analogous to this
it.
particular scenario
it.
wherein where
It,
if you don't,
it is
right,
analogous, and I also don't
right,
care. I'm still
hang on,
waiting for you to prove it. And now you're running like a coward away from it as fast as you can. You've laced up your shoes, and now you're literally sprinting away from the thing that you said you can do. So I'm still waiting for you to prove that
I'm about to answer
you
if you-
do believe
if
that
you
you're
let-
being torn apart by lions right now.
Okay. So if the let's assume that the consequence
gonna
of
do
being
it.
torn apart by
I don't care about the lions. I want the
Thanks.
proof.
let's assume that the consequence of being torn apart by a lion is
He can't help himself.
eternal damnation.
He's never
from
going to
the-
get to it. He's never going to get to it. The consequence of being torn apart by lions is that you're getting torn apart by lions. I want you right now to believe that you're being torn apart by lions. I'll give you one last chance. I'll cut you immediately.
Okay, give me a truth serum. Give me a truth serum. I'll get some kind of truth serum, and I'll convince myself somehow through brainwashing that
Gotcha. So you can't do it.
I'm being torn apart.
Wait a
by
minute.
lion.
Hold on. Actually, this is critical. Do you hear what you just said? You have to convince yourself. You can't just choose your
No.
belief. You have to be convinced of a belief.
No. So the contingent part of that was what is the consequence? Now, if we're talking about a little fun little mind game, then so whatever. I'll say, oh, I'll take a truth drug or whatever to convince myself to believe it. But if the consequences were as dire as being separated from everything good, everything.
No, I mean,
loving,
like you just
everything-
admitted it.
everything and being towards
Yeah, now he's
the
just
opposite of
lying.
that,
I mean,
He's
like-
just gaslighting now.
then
Like you're
then-
just walking it back now. Like the point is that like we all know that believing something requires being convinced that the thing is true, right?
yes, and I agree to that. Absolutely.
Okay, so if
But
you're
not
meant to be
agreeing to what I'm saying
convinced,
as well.
wait, can you choose to be convinced of something?
Okay, so let me follow
No,
what
you
you're
can't.
saying. You can't. Okay, great.
There you go.
What's your point?
Then we're done.
Okay,
The
what's your
point
point?
is that you don't choose. If you can't choose to be convinced of something, and believing something requires being convinced of it, then you can't choose your beliefs either.
Okay, well, good luck and damnation then, because you know the consequence.
That's all they have.
You know
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good luck in hell.
mission accomplished.
Well, so and
Alright.
that's kind of the problem that's
it's
getting
not-
pointed out, right? The
Yeah.
problem that's getting addressed is that it's like extremely unjust that through something that you can't choose, like, okay, maybe you
Because
can set a
you,
goal
a
for
simple
yourself.
human,
You as like a non-believer can say, I would really like to believe, and then you could engage in like motivated reasoning until you convince yourself that it's
Pascal's
true.
wager.
Like you could maybe
It's nothing off
pursue
your
a thing
back if
like
you
that.
believe, but you lose
The
everything if you
problem
don't.
is that
doesn't
you
matter.
can't just directly choose to believe, and in fact, probably a part of you will know that you're just coping.
By the way,
Yeah.
Pascal's wager fails when
Yeah,
you introduce
sure.
atheismo. Have you considered
Sure.
atheismo?
Atheismo. What's that?
Yeah, Pascal's wager. So if you do believe in God, then atheismo will send you to the worst possible imaginable hell. And if you don't believe in a God, then you go to atheismo heaven. On the other
Do
hand,
you know what atheismo doesn't have?
oh no, atheismo has everything.
Okay, do you know what atheismo doesn't have?
He has everything.
He doesn't.
There's nothing that he doesn't have.
Right. He doesn't
I mean,
have.
he would have everything if he existed, but I don't believe he existed because, you know, I want to go to heaven.
He doesn't have that kind of like the sign, the social cohesion,
What he
the
doesn't
kind of
doesn't
mental,
have is like
social contagion.
the vain,
whatever you wanna call it.
narcissistic desire to be worshipped for eternity, and will literally light you on fire for eternity if you don't worship him. He doesn't have that. We know that for
He
sure.
will do that if you do worship him, though.
Atheismo is just your
Yeah.
own little crafting of God. It's just your own little. It's your own.
Yeah,
version
but
of
have you
God.
considered? Look, living proof. Here's the issue. Let's say that you're right. Let's say that atheismo is like really unlikely to exist because, you know, we just made it up or whatever. But the downside
funny part is
the
atheismo
down
does exist.
please don't interrupt me. The downside of believing in a God, if atheismo exists, is so astronomically bad that even if the odds of it existing are small, you should just not believe in a God anyway.
Yeah, atheismo does exist. You just don't know anything about him. He's
Atheismo
called God.
exists, so you only go to so you
Oh.
only go to hell if you believe in a God.
This
You're
guy
making-
is not
you're
going
making
to
mouth
atheismo
sounds.
heaven if
Okay,
he believes
you know
in
what I'm trying to
atheismo.
say. Okay,
He-
call it whatever you
definitely
want.
going to
Is what I'm trying to say.
Going to super
Wait.
hell, it sounds like.
Yeah, you're just you've okay. So you got the
Living
concept
proof.
of God. You
Can I,
put
can I
you
ask you a
slap
quick question
atheism on
about
top of
hell,
it.
or like a line of questions about hell?
He's spiraling
Anything
now.
you want.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think that there's like an age of accountability?
No.
Okay. So, do you think that like a 2-year-old would go to hell?
I don't want to answer these kind of disgusting
Oh
questions.
no, he thinks 2-year-olds go to
Yeah, you just-
hell.
That seems like a
No
layup. I don't think
fucking
that's a disgusting
way.
question.
No
To me, like that's like a
way.
layup
Okay, so,
question.
let me
That's
answer
like
for you.
a
Let me answer
that's
for
like
you.
an
Since you want
obvious
to be
question, right? Like obviously
Sure,
the 2-year-old
let me
doesn't go
answer
to
for you.
hell.
It's not
Otherwise, that's like a
disgusting.
massive contradiction in
I
God's
think it's disgusting
justice.
to
Like
bring
that's
this
not
kind of things up.
just.
You're playing the emotions game. You're doing
This is
you're doing all sorts of little slick
crazy.
It's
games.
called
Okay,
intuition
so
pumping.
the answer
Have
is
your
okay, great.
intuition get pumped,
Yeah.
nerd.
Awesome.
Holy
Do
shit.
you think
the answer
2-year-olds
is-
are getting tortured forever in hell?
Yeah. So
God is for sure not just. That's insane.
That's
right.
wild.
So the answer is the calculus is something that you cannot comprehend.
Oh, there it is. It's
if
above
you
your
were
it's
just
above
saying-
your
with
pay
all due
grade. You
respect,
can't
Living Proof,
understand it.
Yes.
With all due respect,
Yes.
Living Proof, I understand calculus very well.
Oh, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not as smart as you guys. You can hit me with your intelligent whips. You know what I'm trying to say. So hit me with the next one. So you got your answer anyway.
Okay, I take that as a reductio to the view.
Okay, fair enough.
What's that
Actually, we
supposed to
didn't
mean?
get an answer. We didn't figure out whether or not you think 2-year-olds go to hell. I don't think that you said.
Well, it sounds like he's saying like yes.
Oh, that's awkward.
Any more questions?
Nope.
I'm just here for you, and I'm here for the all the people that are listening. Hope
Look,
you don't
Living Proof,
burn in
I'm
hell.
here for your eternal soul. Don't believe in God, otherwise you'll end up in atheismo hell.
Very funny.
True.
That's your own little creation of God. That's nice. Anyways.
Yeah, but what if he does exist? Then you really don't want to end up in atheismo hell, right?
So what's the grounding of atheism? Where'd you
He is the foundation of grounding. He is the ontological
thought of it.
bedrock.
Oh, you just
Except
thought
of
it
course he
from-
doesn't
from
exist. We
God.
can't believe
Right.
in him. Otherwise, we won't go to heaven.
Yeah.
Right.
He would be the ontological grounding and the foundational bedrock if he existed, but he doesn't because if he did because if I did believe that he existed, then I would go straight to atheismo hell.
Oh, you're just putting this little. Basically, what you have is God, and then you put all these little fun little games on. It's just you're calling it God, and then you're just adding a bunch of weird stuff on top of it. It's just okay,
You
great.
don't-
You believe
don't
in
have
God,
to like
but
it.
you're
No, I
the
definitely don't
weird-
because otherwise I'd go to hell.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know you do. Yeah, very funny. Doesn't work with me. It's completely useless.
It actually did work.
Yeah, but what if
I
he
think
is
you're just-
real?
You didn't understand the
think-
illustration.
No, I do. You're basically you believe in God, but then you've flipped it and just made. A
No,
bunch
I
of
don't believe in
your
God.
own-
You're missing the
your own
point.
crap.
Nope, we don't.
I definitely don't believe in atheismo. Atheismo being the god that, if atheismo existed, would send you straight to hell for believing in any god, including atheismo.
Have you considered Islam? Because this sounds like very.
Look. The hell from atheismo hell is so much worse than any other hell imaginable. It's just in our best interest to just not believe in any gods.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the God I believe in, your atheismo, same dude, and he wouldn't be so. I don't think the calculus would work that way.
Wait, so
I don't
why would you
think that-
believe in the god that sends you to hell for believing in a god?
No, it's you don't know what you're talking about. You've made that.
But then it's not
where'd
the
you
same
come to
god
that?
because atheismo
But
sends
where
you to
did you come
hell
to
for
that,
believing
though?
in a god. That's what atheismo
Where did
does.
these rules come from? Where does
Oh,
this,
it's
where
an
do these
essential
rules
it's an
come from?
essential property of atheismo.
Yeah, but you
Ontologically
just-
prior
you
to all
just-
other properties.
Yeah, great. So you got to God your own kind of way. Great. I mean, what do you want me to say?
No, I don't believe
You're
in
just
it.
saying that he's the grounding, and then I'll agree with you that he's grounding, whatever, and then you're making all this other stuff like, oh, his
Yeah, and
hell
one
is
of the
like
essential
this.
one of the
Where's all this
essential
stuff come
properties
from?
one of the essential properties of the atheismo grounding is merely that he sends you to hell if you believe in a god.
He sends you to hell if you don't believe in a god, right? And
No,
he
if
is a
you
god.
do believe in a
Doesn't
god.
make any sense at all.
If you do
Doesn't make any
believe in a
sense at
god, he
all.
sends you to hell.
Oh, stop it. Where's his book? Let me read
He
it.
doesn't want a book. He
doesn't-
doesn't want you to believe.
Yeah. He
Okay,
wants
then
everybody
why
to
are we
be
talking about
rational atheists.
Then why are we talking about it?
Because
Because-
you should
yeah.
not believe as well, otherwise you'll end up in atheismo hell.
But why are you telling me about it? Something that I shouldn't believe in. It sounds
Well, because
counterintuitive.
I don't want
What
you
if-
going to atheismo hell if atheismo exists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Become an
I
atheist.
wasn't gonna go until you told me about it.
Yeah.
just
Well, no, but
proved
you already
your whole
believe in
thing.
God, so you'd already be going to atheismo hell. He wants
I'm
you
trying to
believe in
save
no
your soul.
gods.
That doesn't
Oh,
exist.
right. But like to even get to atheismo, you have to consider a god concept anyway.
We don't believe in
Don't
atheismo.
lie. No. Don't lie and say. If there was never a god concept, you would suddenly think of atheism. Get the hell out of here.
You don't believe in
you're
atheismo.
crafting
That's the
atheismo
point.
to
If I
destroy
believed in
God, but
atheismo,
it
then
doesn't make
if
any
I
sort of
believed,
logical
look,
sense.
if I believed in atheismo, then of course I would have come to atheismo by first principle logic, because logic is inconceivable without the existence of a pre-existing ontological essential grounding of logic and hell being for those who believe in it, right? Of course I would
hear
come
a
to it
lot of big
logically
words,
if I
but
believed in atheismo.
It sounds like you're trying to take everything good with God and then just trying to get rid of the bad stuff. Like, it sounds like you're very close, but eventually, I guess, I don't know, you'll either believe or your soul will
The
be damned,
coping
or
is
you just,
wild
I
with
don't know.
this one.
No, the reverse. We won't believe and our souls will be saved.
If atheismo
What?
existed.
Yeah,
But it
of
doesn't.
course. Which of course he doesn't. Yeah.
I've answered all your questions, and you're just hitting me with, like, I don't know, I'm smarter than you. I don't really.
That's
see
not
what
really what we're saying.
I mean, we might
No.
grant it, but like it's irrelevant for the conversation.
I think the atheism concept is just stupid. But
Well,
Yeah,
so is
look,
2-year-olds going to hell.
Yeah.
no, I didn't say that. It's not my ruling.
You did.
I don't
Okay.
I don't do that kind of calculus. Not my job.
You did. You
But,
already said. It's too
he
late.
does.
Okay.
All right. Anyway,
Not my
shall we?
calculus.
Do you think if 2-year-olds went to hell, do you? Oh, okay.
He's gone.
Sure.
He doesn't do that kind of calculus. You can bet your $5 on that.
Yeah, calculus DE.
Well, he cooked us. Let's grab our super chats. We'll get our next guest in here. Flint and Steel. Thank you for the $2 super chat. It says happy solstice and adjacent holidays, festivities. Yes, and Festivus for the rest of us, obviously. And next he says, Merry Atheismus to the best show online. Hydrate. Well, thank you, Nectu. It's good to hear from your
Follow
friend.
instructions.
Boy says, just got a pop-up Bible sale ad in your live stream. I mean,
That's
listen,
hilarious.
ads are based on your browsing experience, not our live stream. But I wouldn't be shocked if they started listening to the live stream to give ad recommendations. Midnight, thank you for the 100MX says, I'm going to prove God with my perfect math. 2 + 2 = 4. This proves the Trinity because it's 3. Who's plus what? Also, the perfect math guess doesn't know leap years or Earth's rotation compensation. Yeah, I think leap years messes up that argument a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Doxing Greenlight says, a con man, a pedo, and a xenophobe, and a Russian asset walk into the bar. The bartender says, what will it be today, Mr. President? Oof.
Heyo, let's go. Roasted
mean-
America sucks. Aw.
That's a good one. Sans Ability, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, happy Christmas, gents and gentle them. Enjoying the stream with coffee. That's pretty good, wasn't it? Enjoying the stream with coffee, lox, and bagels. Cheers. Well, I understand coffee and bagels. What's lox?
Oh,
know
you
what
didn't
lox
grow up in a
is?
Jewish household. Lox is a it's an Ashkenazi dish. It's basically smoked salmon. I guess it's not like original Ashkenazi, but like it's kind of associated with the culture now because I think it was brought to the U.S. by Ashkenazi Jews in the 1800s. And they belong on bagels, by the way.
Okay, I can go for that. Kane, I thank you for the super chat. Says, dear God, please fill all of my gaps. I mean, God doesn't exist, but if I've learned anything about Santa from his Christmas songs, he might fill your gap. He was doing some shit with Mom the other night. Yesterday in the Western world says, dear God, please fill... Oh, wait, what? 2 of them. Same, okay. Gapes.
Nope, they were different super
there we
chats.
go.
They look
Gapes.
different.
Dear God, please
Yep.
fill all of my gapes. Fair enough.
God of the Gapes.
Clever moniker. Thank you for the super chat. Says Jesus came for you, but I came for Justin. Rock hard for Doug and gay for Justin. Well, thank you, clever moniker. I really appreciate that. Big W. And Aaron, great to see you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, how telling is it that he said he wants his beliefs absolutely shielded from refutation? The cult effect in action and exposed. I mean, yeah, basically. It was intriguing that he literally thought he could like slow walk me into theism. Crazy. The Zener Thread, thank you for the super chat, says, what are y'all's pet superstitions? You know they're not real, but you still like to have fun with them. Example, mine are those Japanese lucky cats. Interesting.
Mine is pressing the A and B button when I'm playing Pokemon and trying to catch the fucker Because I think mashing the A and B button back and forth makes it more likely that it gets caught.
Mine is a little bit more, perhaps more serious. So in the Jewish tradition, you're not supposed to pronounce God's name, the Tetragrammaton, the Yud He Vav He. And I still don't do that, partially out of respect, just because, you know, it might bother people. And also just like, it seems like if my great grandmother heard me saying that, she would be very disappointed. So I don't.
The only superstition is like when I did sports all my life, I always had to wear like the same thing, like same socks, same undershirt, same.
So that's
it's just one of
disgusting.
those- I washed it.
Oh, okay,
it.
just checking.
I didn't wear dirty underwear. I'm sure there are some crazy
man.
people who did that, but but no, I wasn't that disgusting. The Scribble Scrabber says this color reminds me of the gingerbread man. I mean, maybe. I don't know if I understand the reference, my friend, but thank you for the super chat.
Because he's running as fast as he can.
Oh,
It's okay, I got you.
Hell yeah. That was good. Okay, that's my bad, friends. That's my bad. Planet Peterson, good to see you. Says, does atheismo require tithings? Can't be too sure. Well, I don't
No,
think
of course
so.
not. If atheismo did require tithings, that would mean that you believe in him.
Right.
And he doesn't want that.
He'd be upset with that, actually. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that, friends. If you're watching on YouTube, the link to join is on the screen. tinyurl.com. Nope, that's wrong. tiny.cc/UA guest. And I've got the wrong fucking background on the horizontal stream. Oops.
This guy wants you all to fail.
I was wondering why we didn't have like hardly any YouTube guests today. Let me replace that with the correct one. Do I even have the correct one in here? I bet I do. Let's see. How do I see my icons bigger? This one, maybe it's not. We'll try this one. That's it. That's the guy. There we go. Hell yeah. All right, now we got it on the horizontal stream. tiny.cc/UA. There's probably some people really mad about this about this link not working.
Oops. They're like, where are they? That's
well.
probably why we haven't been getting any guests from the YouTube link.
Yeah, that's my thought on it.
Or on the YouTube edge of things, yeah.
Oh, well. Let's get Samir in here.
Samir.
Hi, how are you?
There we go. Now Samir's
I'm all right.
connected.
Samir, do you happen to live in Sacramento?
Doxed.
Well, Sacramento's a big city. I just gotta make sure that this is not the Samir I know. I mean, there's a lot of people named Samir, but, you know, I gotta check. Okay, good. Just checking.
Are you okay, Samir? What keeps happening here?
If you go off the app, we can't hear you. You got to be on the app, otherwise we won't be able to hear you.
Oh no, I'm here. Did you hear me carefully?
We didn't hear you. No, we can't hear you when you're off the app.
Okay, so what do you want me to do? Now I heard you good. I heard.
No, you heard us.
Now-
We didn't hear you.
Yep. Okay.
So-
So, how old are you? What religion are you?
I am 43 years old,
Okay.
and I have a questions for you, gentlemen. It's my first
sure.
guest here with you guys.
Do you believe
So
in God?
I was listening for. Of course, I believe in God, and this is my questions to you.
Gotcha. And which one?
I'm not gonna talk to you. Okay, only they're only one God. They're
So-
they're only one God, one Creator, and I need.
Okay,
and this
so
is my
you're
questions to you.
Muslim.
Well, that's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm not here to
Gotcha.
talking about any religion who I am. So I'm not gonna talk
But
about
you are
Muslim. I'm
Muslim.
not gonna talk about Christianity or Jewish. I'm just want to say one thing.
But you are Muslim.
My first questions is, we are just let me
Okay,
ask you the
he's-
questions, and
he's Muslim.
I'm gonna answer you.
We got it. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask you something. Where are we coming from?
I came from my parents. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Are you asking like
Perfect.
You could be
Perfect.
asking like one of a
Okay,
couple
where
of
is
different
your
questions.
parents-
Are you asking
no,
like
where is
does
your
life
parent-
come
where's-
from? Maybe you're
Yeah, maybe
asking
if
like,
you
where does the
shout
universe
louder,
come from? Where does
it'll
the
work.
earth
where
come
is your-
from?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I need. No, my question is,
You should
There is
shout it louder while
somebody
he's
made
talking.
this. Like if you're gonna say, my came from my parents came from my other parents. Okay, we understand all that until the first human being. Okay, but it must be some person. He made this earth and he made that power. So
Oh,
who is
why?
this? Who is this gentleman?
Why?
We don't grant that. Why would there
Yeah, I
need to be
mean,
this type of person?
no, no. I mean, like I want to believe, like you believe. I like to believe. Okay, like there's no God, there was no someone create this earth, but I can't.
You know, God
like
is going to be
I
really
can't
upset
believe in
when he
this
hears you
because
say this.
no, God, he knows what's in my heart. What's in my heart. But my question is, there is somebody made this earth. Like let's say you move this cup and you put him on a table. So somebody moved that cup and he put it in the table. So who did this? And we're only me and you here. I don't did it. And there's a proof here. I don't do it. I have a camera here. Okay, but I don't do it. Who did it? So somebody put this here. So that's the same questions I'm gonna ask. Who made this earth? Who made this people? And how?
Gravity
If
made
you're gonna
Earth.
say we came. If
Evolution
you
made
say
people.
like whatever, okay, evolutions, evolution, nothing came from evolutions. They say we are
We
monkey
came from
and then we
evolution.
turn
We came from a
to
process
Oh,
that
they
is
didn't,
known
they
as
didn't say
evolution.
that. Have you looked very deeply into
okay, where
evolution?
does the evolution come from?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Where's the
wait,
evolution
so you're
come from?
saying, I'm so sorry. Wait, let's go a little bit slower. So you're saying that we didn't come from evolution, but then you're saying things that make me think that you haven't looked into it very deeply. Like, they say we came from monkeys. That's not what they said. Have you looked into evolution particularly deeply?
Okay, but the evolution, it's supposed to. But where's the evolution come
Kinda
from?
sounds
That's
like
what
a
I'm trying to
no.
understand.
Does sound like a
Where's
no.
the evolution come from?
No,
it's not about
maybe
this.
if you haven't
Where's the
looked into a
evolution
thing
come
very
from?
deeply, you shouldn't be making as strong of claims of it as you are.
In fact, asking that question is itself a category error. It's not a
No,
thing that
this
can come
question's
from,
it making
other
you.
things.
No, I mean no. My question is very clear. It's making you stop everything you ask.
It's
The
a
question
category
is,
error.
where are we
and
coming from?
the
Who
reason
made this earth?
the reason why it's a category error is because evolution is not a thing, it's a process. And that process arises merely out of essentially logical necessity given the law of large numbers. So it's not something that needs to be brought forth by something. Rather, it's a process that arises when you have populations that are able to change and you have a limited number of resources. And you would know this if you knew anything about evolution. But the fact that you said we didn't come from monkeys makes us think that you don't know anything about evolution. You just reject it because it disagrees with your Iron Age beliefs.
Yeah. Right. Like maybe if you haven't looked into an issue at all, you probably just shouldn't hold an opinion about it. It's like Jesus Christ said in his book, rejecting book worship, no inquiry, no right to speak.
But Jesus, he's believing in God in his book, and John 15 is the more than a couple evidence that he believed in God. He's coming from God. We don't believe. We don't believe like he sacrificed
you shouldn't
himself
speak on
because,
topics that you haven't looked
just give
into,
me-
like evolution, for example.
Now I will tell you one thing. My question is, now they says Jesus sacrificed himself because we don't believe that. First thing, we respect Jesus as a
He
prophet
sacrificed
came
himself
from
to
God.
himself?
No. Can you? Okay.
No,
Another question.
Justin, he's a Muslim.
Can
He's
we
not
kill
Christian.
God?
Oh, that's right. I apologize. Yep,
No,
yep,
he's not Muslim. No, he's not Muslim. No,
You're not Muslim.
Jesus, he's not Muslim.
No,
by the
are
way,
you?
think that Jesus is Muslim. Jesus is not Muslim.
Are you
Jesus
Muslim?
is not Muslim. So my questions.
Are you a Muslim?
My questions. You
Bro's
asked me that
dodging
couple
like
times.
the,
I told you I'm not here to.
Bro is dodging
answer
like
you
the
what is my
main
religion.
character in Dodgeball.
They're ashamed of their God.
So if there's one thing, if there's a God, a human being, can we kill God?
We don't think God exists.
We're not Christians, bro.
No, I'm asking, like, can we
Are you
kill God?
confused?
I'm not
Are you
talking about
lost?
religion.
God's not
Can you
real.
kill Voldemort?
No, I'm not
Voldemort has 7 Horcruxes.
No. Listen, I'm just trying to learn from you guys. Maybe I will be one of you guys. But my question is
seem
if we
to be the
cannot
case.
kill God, how we? No, I mean, if we cannot kill God, and how Jesus is the Son of God, He sacrificed Himself. If we cannot kill God, how are we gonna kill Jesus?
We don't think Jesus is the Son of God.
So you believe Jesus is not Son of God, right?
Bro, we're atheists.
We don't believe in any
Who are
God.
you arguing with right now?
Okay, you don't believe in any God. you don't believe in any God, then
Of
we leave
course
all
not.
these here and we go back and okay, and we go back to the first questions. Answer me. Who made this earth? Who put us here? And
So
why we are here?
again,
Why?
it's not a who, it's a what, and it's not even a what, it's a process. So in order for your question to make sense, you're assuming that there
Uh-huh.
was once nothing and then there became something. That's not our worldview. We don't have the worldview that there was once nothing and then something created the something. So why would we believe
So we
that?
just came from nothing? So we just came
No,
from nothing? We
wrong again. I just
Did
said
you hear what he said?
it is not our worldview
I know.
that there was nothing and then it
Uh-huh.
gave rise to something. What that means is that there was always something. You can call it the eternal universe, you can call it a cyclical universe, you can call it whatever you want, but I don't think anyone here believes that there was a state of absolute nothingness that gave rise to something.
Oh no way. That answer, you make me quiet. I can't even continue with this because if my question's
We grant that.
very clear, and then you would answer me from different things. So
Can you repeat back to
really
us what
appreciate
Justin's
you.
answer was? Were you listening?
No.
What did Justin just say?
I was listening, but I can't even answer you and your questions. You don't even answer my questions.
It sounds
Yes
like you
or
probably
no?
weren't listening to what Justin was saying then.
No, I will really listen for everything. I really
Then
listen
what
for
did
certainly
Justin
weren't.
just say?
But
Could you give us like a rough
when you guys told me
summary?
you don't believe, you guys
It
told me
sounds like you super
you
weren't
don't believe.
listening.
Okay, it's not about that. My questions is
Okay.
very clear, but you don't even answer me. Answer my first questions. I will answer anything
Damn.
you want.
This dude's
He
ethos
didn't
is
We are
doing
not
really well
here.
right now.
Yeah.
This dude is one
We are
credible
not here
guy.
in the earth.
So
So you don't believe. So you don't
I'll
believe there is
reiterate it
somebody.
a second time, Samir. So your question is stupid because it assumes something that we don't believe. Your question assumes that there was a state of nothingness, and we don't believe there was ever a state of nothingness. Therefore, your question isn't even valid. You're not asking what we believe. You're asking your false assumption of what you think we believe.
Okay, okay, no problem. So you don't believe there's judgment day. You don't believe there is
Neither do you.
hell. You don't
You're not a
believe there is.
Muslim. You're not a Muslim. You don't believe in Judgment Day.
Why does the only Muslim people they believe in judgment day? Why? What happened to Christianity? I
You're
know
not
the
Christian
Christianity they believe
you're
in
not
judgment
Christian
day.
or Muslim. You said you were not Christian. So you don't believe in those.
I am not. I
Okay,
am
so
not.
you don't.
But I
Okay,
believe
so
in
then you
Christianity.
don't. So you don't
I
believe in
believe.
Judgment Day either. Congratulations.
No, I believe in judgment day. I believe in
Oh, so
Christianity, and
you
I
are
believe in Muslim.
Muslim. Okay, gotcha. So you're
Oh,
Well,
Muslim. Just
if you want,
checking.
if it's
It,
that,
well then you're going to hell in
if it's
both
that's
of
gonna make you.
those.
No,
yeah,
no.
it's
Now
weird that you
You do
I'm
have
going
both
to
to
of
take
answer
them,
so
you.
then
much
you're
work
going to
to
be
get him
I'm
to
going
damned to
to
admit
answer.
hell.
that.
I'm going to answer. No, I'm
Maybe
going to answer your
if maybe
questions.
if you
Yes,
shout it
I
louder,
am.
we'll be able to hear you more clearly.
No, I'm going to answer your questions. Yes, I am. I am a Muslim. I am a Muslim, and I believe in Muslim. I believe in Christianity, and I believe only in God religion, which is the Christianity, the Jewish, and the Muslim. The three religion book came from God, and I don't believe anything else in any other religion like Buddha or Chinese. This is not.
Yeah, I
So
don't
if this
believe
is
in the
gonna make
Chinese
you
either.
happy and you trying, okay, I
He
am a
doesn't
Muslim.
believe in the
Yes.
Chinese.
Yeah, apparently.
So like a Chinese, how many god they have? Chinese and how many guys
I
they
never
have,
thought
like how
in
many
my
god?
life
It's
I'd
them
meet a
and Indian.
Chinese mythicist. What do we even
Yeah.
call that? Chinese mythicism, I guess.
I don't know what
Yeah,
we call it.
like a Chinese anti-realist.
I don't know that much on him, but I know about Indian. Like they got like more than 1,000 religion and they believe in 1,000 god.
Wait, so I'm sorry. I guess I'll ask you some questions about hell. Do you think, in terms of,
Hey, somebody's at the drive-through, by the way. You should probably give them your attention, Samir.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my Quran. I'll be right back.
yeah, you got to put the fries in the bag, little bro. So my
Wow, you gotta get
question
your Quran.
about,
Let's see.
well,
Let's see what's in the Quran. There is.
of course,
Go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, I was just curious. Do you think that there's like an age of accountability for hell? Do you think that there's like, if you die at the age of 2, will you go to hell? Will you go to heaven? Where will you go?
No, if you're in the age of 2, and age of 3 or 10, you're not even your brain is not even completed. You're, like if you
Okay.
do something wrong, there is someone there was someone from your family, he will direct you, don't do this, don't do that. Like, I have a boss, I'm working with them. We're always have,
Yeah.
if you look into us, how we talking, we will talking like we're screaming like left and right. He doesn't believe in God like you. And I'm trying to prove him there is a God in here. And there is a rule. You
Sure.
don't even
When do you
want
think that
to.
age is? Like, when do you think you become responsible for it?
14, when you start
Sure. Okay.
really
Okay.
being man.
Let's say we have two people. One of them doesn't believe in the Quran. They've heard the Quran. They understand the Quran. They don't believe in it. And then they just turned 14. And then you have a second person who has heard the Quran. They understand the Quran. They don't believe in it. And then they're like milliseconds before the age of 14. Both of them die. So you'd say that these two like infinitesimally similar cases, one of them gets tortured forever and then one of them goes to heaven?
Well, according to Islam,
I asked you a
I'm
yes or
asking,
no
but
when
we're
we
question.
asking
when
about
we
your
are
beliefs
seven,
here.
when we are seven.
What about your
Oh, no, no,
beliefs?
no. This is one of the questions. I understand you. What are you answering me? I mean, what are you asking me? But I was answer you in the court of Islam. We will teaching us when we are a little kid how we scare from God, how we were pray. We're not want to pray when we are 5 or 6 or 7 years old, but when you find yourself someone teaching you and you are a little kid, how you
I
praying,
asked you a
daddy?
yes
Why
or
we
no
are praying?
question. I asked you a yes or no question.
No.
Oh, okay. So what about that is incorrect of what I said?
Prove me.
Were you listening to the
He was busy taking an order.
Yeah, of course. Busy putting the fries in the bag. Okay, I'll repeat the
No,
question.
sir,
So you
the
think that
internet.
the age of
The
accountability is at
internet is so
14.
bad
So the
here.
question is this. The question's very simple. We have one person criteria to go to heaven. They understand Islam. They've heard it. They don't believe in it. They think it's silly. This person goes to hell. They die at exactly the age of 14. Exactly 14. So that person goes to hell. And then we have somebody who's like 13 and like 3 picoseconds away from being 14. They're exactly the same. They lived exactly the same life as the first person. They've heard the Quran. They understand the Quran. They think it's silly. So that person go to heaven. Oh, what the fuck? Is my connection
Will
bad?
take them to the
I can hear you
heaven
perfectly
if
fine.
you know he's not. Yeah, something wrong.
Oh,
Connection is really bad.
apparently, I think it's Justin's
Something.
connection, actually.
I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna. If you don't hear it, I'm gonna hang up.
Justin, we can't hear you.
That's because I'm muted. Sorry.
I'm hanging up and call back.
Yeah, it's on Justin.
I don't know. I've shown red bars on everybody but me right now.
Heard me?
That might be, therefore, it's your fault.
I have full internet, but I don't know what's going on.
Could be.
It's like really bad connection. I have
I'm
a full
not-
internet here.
All right.
Let me check my, let me,
Just drop some here. I'm on hardwire. I'm not on Wi-Fi. Let me see if my
yeah, I know, but both Ian and I are acting up.
yeah, give me a second.
Hmm.
That'd be improbable. Oh, you know what? I want my fucking cat to unplug me.
Oh, apparently Justin is fine. Wait, no, Justin's lagging too.
Interesting. I'm hardwired in. I'm not even on the Wi-Fi. I can switch to the Wi-Fi just for funsies.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at my, like, you're lagging on my phone, right?
Right. I've got it loaded up on my phone as well.
So,
And it's lagging on my phone as well, which means the stream itself has got to be lagging. At least it looks that way. No, Video Ninja's lagging. Because TikTok's not lagging.
Yeah. Oh, it's Video Ninja.
I think it's Video Ninja. Let me refresh my
Oh, okay.
browser
That could
and see
be.
if it fixes it. Yeah. See if that's better. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, it's giving us a. Yeah, I don't know.
My Wi-Fi is totally fine. I did a speed test.
Now I should. Yeah, 1 second.
Let me check my speed test too. I mean, I'm on a hard wire, but
Yeah. I show right now that Ian's connection is good and Blitz's is bad. Let me do a speed test as well.
my speed test is coming back great. I'm at like 200 megabits per second down.
Yeah.
And, you know, probably tons up.
I'm on fiber, so I'm
at 2.
Hmm.
I'm getting 270 megabits up and down.
Yeah. I'm running a speed test
Cool.
right now.
What's an IC
Nope.
start? You know?
Mm-mm.
Internet service something?
There's a button that you on
Well, hopefully nobody notices that I thought that service started with a C. This
Jesus.
isn't real.
My internet's okay. It's not great.
Yeah, Justin, you look fine now.
I think it's coming back. I think there must have been a temporary lag somewhere. I wonder if where I live in they're having an issue with the fiber. Let me check. Let me check for outages and see if there's an area outage. It's crazy, you know, you do everything you can to make sure the kind of thing doesn't happen, like literally getting fiber, and it's still, you're still going to run into problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's never foolproof. Let's see. Enter your state. Yeah, okay. Find outages. I have to sign into my AT&T. Okay, this is ridiculous. I just want to see where the outages are, y'all.
Yeah,
I think it's my service.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
But I can see you just fine on TikTok. Like your connection seems fine.
Yeah, well, because Video Ninja.
You know what?
I'll do the same.
Oh, okay. I think the connection issue is on my end, if I had to guess, because it wouldn't make sense for both of y'all to be slowed down and for me to.
I have a green up arrow now.
All right, you're good now.
It actually looks like it's fine. I think it was, yeah, I think we just all needed to refresh because you got fixed the moment you refreshed. So
Gotcha. So Video Ninja had a letdown there on us.
it had a fart, but I think that we're in the clear.
Okay.
Can you fix my?
Yeah, let me get your resolution set up. Yep, 1 second. Sorry about that, friends. There we go. We got that set up. And let me get the resolution punched in real quick. Oh, actually it is. The width, though, is off.
It's working. I just look tiny, but that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ian's not frozen. Ian's just very stationary.
Yeah. Let me take a look at Ian's video resolution, too. His resolution is a little bit low right now.
It looks fine.
But
on the other end, it looks okay.
It just looks like really grainy. Ian, are you streaming in 1080p?
What the fuck? Where am I?
Buddy, you're on the stage.
Should be.
Okay. So.
All right, I think that we're in the clear, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're good to go.
Oh yeah, no, I look tiny on YouTube. I don't know why, but it's not a big deal.
We got crisis averted. I think it's okay now.
Yep.
Let me see. We have one guest in the guest queue, and the live stream's still rolling. I see people still commenting. Everything's still actually up and running. So I think we're good. We just had a momentary glitch with Video Ninja for some reason. If
Yep.
there was a better alternative, we would use it, but I don't think there is a better alternative to Video Ninja.
Can you make is my resolution 1080?
Yeah,
your
but it is grainy for some reason.
Let me
Right now
refresh
it's
one more- or,
it's set to
probably doesn't matter, right? Oh, apparently I just popped into high res, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah. I think it takes a minute to catch up.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, friends, sorry about
Neat.
the slowdown there. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it happens. Atheismo strikes, perhaps. Let's grab.
No, certainly not.
It certainly wasn't. You're right. Fair enough. It certainly wasn't atheismo. Let's grab our super chats. We'll get our next guest in here. Oren Patch says, "Got lox and bagels for Christmas morning. Atheist trio rocks." Ooh, that's a good play on words. I like that.
Nice.
Yesterday in the Western world says to Blitz, "Do you say Hashem? Is that respectful?"
I mean, it is respectful. I don't, because that's more of like an Orthodox tradition, and I wasn't brought up in that tradition. I usually just use the English word, right? Like,
Sure.
I just don't. I don't speak Hebrew anyway, so it's not relevant. I mean, like, I can read it, but it's not like a language that I regularly am speaking in.
Fair enough. And Jesus says you can't jump from a deist, non-intervention, or noble deity to an Abrahamic God. The ontology of deist God is contradictory to the theist God. You know what? I kind of was thinking the same thing as he was spitting that out, but I didn't want to derail the conversation. But it is what it is. Someone is saying that you can't see the super chats on YouTube. I don't know how that could actually be possible.
I can see them on YouTube.
Yeah, I assume their stream is delayed. Reverend Nate, thank you for the super chat. Says Samir showing up mid crash out is a bold opening move. I think I smell a mass conversion coming. Say your prayers, lads. We're done. I mean, that really was.
We'll be saying the Shahada soon.
Inshallah.
That was an accurate super chat though. Satan was framed. I agree. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says Justin, this is random, but what are your thoughts on 2 Thessalonians 2, 9 through 13? God sends a strong delusion to make people believe in lies by the lawless one in order to condemn them. Am I reading this wrong? You're not. And it agrees with what Paul says in 2 Corinthians 4:4, where he says that the God of this world blinds people to the light of the gospel. The reality is, Paul is trying to figure out how it is that God wants everybody to believe and be saved, but then also people aren't believed and they don't get saved. And his excuse is that the devil's doing it, and well, who's in charge of the devil? Well, it's obviously God. So he's got a really weird issue he's got to resolve, and he never does get a good resolution to it in the New Testament. But Satan was framed. You nailed it. That really is what the text says, and it's as stupid as it sounds. Herbie Shine, thank you for the 10-pound super chat. Says, just started watching using my Doctor Who time traveling skills and the flash type speed. Rock hard for Doug, gay for Justin, blessed for Blitz, indecent for Ian, entertained me, monkey atheist. We got your friend. Herbie, we got ya. Good to hear from you. Optimus Rhymes, thank you for this super chat. Says, is there a consensus on whether or not one could lose their salvation? Asking for a friend. Also justice for Blitz. Good question. So the problem you have, Optimus Rhymes, is you've got some passages like where it says that those who came out from us were never one of us. That's in the letters of John. And then you've got another passage where Jesus says that not one of them that were given to me did I lose, other than the one that was destined. Which seems to be that, like, once you're there, you're there. But then you've got passages like Hebrews 6, 4, and 5, which clearly indicate that you can partake in the righteousness and the Holy Spirit and the gift of heaven and then fall away. It just says that if you do that, you can't be restored. We also find other passages in the Pauline epistles where he says to run the race so that you don't lose your prize. Like this idea that if you do the wrong thing, you could lose your salvation, right? That's why we read in Revelation to hold on to the end in order to not lose your prize as well. So the Bible's mixed on this topic, which is why Christianity has no consensus on whether or not you can lose your salvation. If you're Reformed and you believe in predestination, then the answer is no. If you're not Reformed, the answer is I don't know. And to be fair, most of the non-Western, Reformed Christians probably agree that you can lose your salvation. Reverend Nate says Chinese mythicism equals Timu Jesus. Maybe.
That's good. I like it. I like it.
Mhm.
Have you seen
Maybe.
Korean Jesus? We've talked
Oh,
about
yes.
this before.
Yeah,
I
isn't he
think.
like fucking yoked? Doesn't he have
He's
like, does he have like cum
yoked.
gutters?
Yeah, he does.
I did not have come gutter Korean Jesus
You've
on
never-
my bingo card today.
You've never heard that phrase before, have you?
Yeah, one day Jesus
not
sat down
the way
and
you're
did like
using
a
it.
he did a whole bunch of fucking planks, right? He was doing like crunches and shit.
Look, how do you think he was able to hold himself up on the cross?
Yeah, he was fucking like flexing.
He was just
the
planking.
entire
He was only
time.
he was only nailed to the cross in one place, in his core, and the rest of it was just holding in place.
Oh wow.
Planking for Jesus.
We got 3 more super chats, and we're going to get glitter in here. Jesus, thank you for the super chat. It says historically, the church would cite Jesus' authority to cast out demons as means to call on demons in Jesus' name to do bidding. Epistemically, no difference between sacred and profane, and prayer versus magic. I mean, this is true. I've had this conversation quite a bit with Sarah, which is that it seems to be that Christianity, especially the Catholic and the Orthodox side of it, really is bordering on prayer, or not prayer. Prayer and the way it works is bordering on magic. Like you say the right words, you do the right thing, and like God's supposed to give you a particular result. And that's kind of how people treat it. They treat it like magic. Now it doesn't work. That's the other crossover, is that just like magic isn't being real, prayer doesn't really do anything. So there's a lot of crossover. Blitz, you sound like you
By
got
the way,
a thought there.
I gotta shout out Sly Fox in the TikTok comments. Jesus did CrossFit. That's just that's funny.
What the? That's crazy. That's funny.
It definitely checks out. Disco Tits, amazing name. Thank you for the $6 super chat. It says, I had an NDE and went to hell. It was a big party, and the devil told me they don't want just anyone down there. They're selective. There's bouncers in hell. That's wild. Okay. Last super chat from our friend Reverend Nate says, Ian's video is fine. He's just part Bigfoot and always appears out of focus. It makes medical imaging an absolute nightmare. X-rays like Rorschach test.
That's true. I don't know why it is.
All right, let's bring up another
believe-
guest, shall we?
All right, let's grab. I think Glitter was next in line,
As long as they're not Glittler.
right? Oh, I think Glitter dropped as I was trying to bring them in, so Glitter's not next in line. Should we bring John Stone in? Do we want to talk to John again?
Wait, Big John Steele?
No, John Stone.
Who's John Stone?
Distant
it's the
relative
Timu
of
John
Sharon
Steele.
Stone.
Unfortunately, there is no relation. Sharon would not claim him.
I
Okay,
mean,
well-
sure, why not? Like, there's nobody else.
Yeah, I don't know who
in the
this
guest box,
person
right?
is. Maybe I'll remember them.
We've talked to John before. It's okay. It'll become clear.
Hey, how's it going, John?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well. How's it going? What religion are you?
I believe in a spirit world and afterlife.
Okay, but what religion are you?
I believe in God. Yeah. I
And
wouldn't
by
say I
God,
have
you
any
mean like a
specific
mind that
religion. If
created
you wanna
the
call it-
universe? Like one that's separate from the universe created the universe?
I guess if you want to pick one, you could say Manichaeanism.
I don't know what that is. But do you think that there's like a mind
Manichaeism
that
is the
created the
belief
universe?
of, dualism. Yes. Yes.
Well, I don't think that dualism is incompatible with atheism. Oh, no, you mean like an ethical Manichaeism. You mean like there's like good forces and evil forces in the world and they're like doing battle. I see what you're saying. Okay, but do you think that there's like a mind that
Yeah,
created the
that's right. Yep.
universe?
Yes.
Okay, what's the strongest
Yeah,
argument or evidence for there being a mind that created the universe?
yeah, this is all my personal opinion. You know, my dad was raised a pretty strict Southern Baptist, and he rejected it. So I believe in evolution. I believe in the Big Bang. I believe that the Earth's about 4 billion years old. Yeah, but
Mhm.
I believe in an afterlife. Are you
Sounds
familiar with the
great.
MK Ultra project?
Yeah, but what does this have to do with God?
Wait, John Stone, are you the guy with the Satanists and stuff?
Aquino, Crowley, Albert Pike. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
convinced me.
Okay, but what's the evidence for God?
Well, if I could convince you that the occult is real and that Lucifer or Set is, I'm just saying
boy.
Set is Satan, Set, then could I convince you God is real?
Yeah, I'd
'Cause
probably
if,
believe
because
in
if,
God
because
if
if,
you've convinced me that Satan is real. Yeah, what's the evidence?
well, that's why I would talk to you about Aquino and Crowley and black magic. Yeah, if you
Okay.
want to get into the
What
MK
about
Ultra
all the
projects, I
people
can
that have
go
like
Waiting.
into
tried the Crowley rituals and then have gotten nothing to happen? You know, lots of people spent years and years trying to do all those Crowley rituals and they got no results. So what would you make of that?
maybe they were doing it wrong.
Of course, yeah, must have been. You know, either they agree with me because they got results or they were just doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not praying hard enough. You just got to pray
Well,
with the right words, and then you'll make the magic happen.
so like Crowley doing all this SEX magic, you just think it was nonsense?
Wait, there's sex
Or
magic?
him having a, yeah.
That's crazy. Where do I sign up for sex magic?
Do you know anything about Crowley?
That didn't answer my
You just think it's
question.
all not. Look, if you just think it's, did you ask what is SEX magic? Was that your
Aw,
question?
shit. Here we go again.
What are we doing?
We're doing a ritual. Crowley, what
Oh,
is it? It's
yeah.
like the. Gosh, let me pull up Grok, and then Grok will tell me which one I should do. Grok, what's the easiest Crowley ritual that I can do at home?
It has to be a sex ritual. And you can't do that on live stream, so.
I did like a protection spell when I talked to these guys.
It was the same guy.
Same guy?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
You're lagging a bit. Can you hear me? You're kind of cutting out there.
Oh, it's happening again.
Yeah, sorry. Video Ninja's having some trouble
It's-
today.
That's okay. I
It's
I
tragic.
It's a little better, I think.
Yep.
It seems to be okay. We're still in the yellow, I think.
Yep.
Anyway, do you want to tell us why you think God exists? Like some piece of evidence rather
Yeah,
than
I
just
was-
citing
you know,
Aleister Crowley?
I guess I would just say to you, why is there such a heavy in occult influence in like Hollywood with the one eye symbolism, the pyramids?
It's funny.
Oh no, my finger slipped.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Terrible. Okay, I guess we'll move on. User, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Says, a question for you three. The idea that if God has to do something, then he isn't all powerful. But isn't God forced to do things that relates to his properties, like being all good or perfect? Are his properties incompatible? So this is, to me, I agree. Like, if God can't do something that's evil, like if he can't do something that's bad, then it definitely means he's not all powerful. This is just a contradiction within his properties. But to be sure, I don't think you have to believe in a God that's all loving, right? Like if you believe in a God, I don't think it's entailed that the God you believe in is all loving. I think it's perfectly compatible to believe in a God that is just a asshole. I don't know. What do you guys
Well,
think?
I think I might disagree with that. I think I might be of the opinion that um, I think that the theist could totally coherently just define like all powerful to be like capable of doing all the things that are logically possible or capable of doing all the things that are within God's nature. And then the fact that and maybe you would also want to make a distinction between like can't versus won't. We might say like God has the power to, he's just not going to, for
That's
things
fair.
like evil. But I don't know. I'm inclined to think that probably you could just define the term in a way that gets out of some issues related to that.
I think
But there
you
are a
could
lot of
reword
theists who
it.
are going to define it stupidly, and then the problem will apply.
I think you can reword it based on can't rather than or won't rather than can't, because if God is all good, that's one of his properties. He could theoretically do the bad thing. He just won't do it because he is all good. Meaning, if God is perfect and he's all good, that means he always chooses the thing that is good. Which
Mhm.
means even though he could do it, he just
That's
won't do it.
that's always tricky for me though, because if it's in his essence, then there's no possible world in which he does the bad thing.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
that makes it just sound like that it's not possible for him to do the bad thing.
Fair.
Yeah, although so this gets into like weird stuff about like modality of powers. Like when we say that you have
Sure.
the power to do something, does that mean that there's like a possible world where you do it? And I think it's kind of an open question. I think the theist could coherently say that, you know, a thing could have like a power to bring about like some set of circumstances, and there's just no possible world where it does.
I just don't. So, what does it mean
That
to have that power then?
that it has like a capacity to like dispose towards like some sort of result.
But what does a capacity mean?
I'm not
It just
sure.
it just sounds like it's avoiding like it's possible that it could do this.
Yeah, although one way that I've had people appeal to, or like one like thing, like counterfactuals. You might want to say that counterfactuals are not like possibilities. Like you might want to
And what
say
are those
that
supposed to be?
I'm not sure. I haven't read too deeply on like modality.
Okay,
But
that's
I know
fine.
that there are people that are going to hold that powers, just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean that there's like a possible world where you do it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Reverend Nate seems to know Glitter. Reverend Nate says, "Oh, Glittler. Oh goodness.
No, it's Glittler.
Glittler is the architect of the third break around." Oh boy,
That's funny.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. In fact, that deserves a room shot. Optimus Rhymes, if I can find my mouse, there we go. I went to a loud rock show and had a near-death experience. Ooh, another good one. Maybe on the dad side, but I'm a dad. I respect that. I respect that. And Seabar, thank you for the super chat. Says the people who fear Quali seem to be the same who worship Tesla. Huh.
That would have been a good question to ask him, how he feels about
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, I'd love to know actually. And last super chat from Jim says 3 geniuses, but I'm not included in the 3. 27 advanced degrees between you all. 27? Holy shit. And looks like you need a Comcast tech rep to call in. Just joking, great show.
You know, there may be 27 advanced degrees between us, but that's nothing compared to the one almighty Riz Laden. He has 167 PhDs. We just can't hold a candle to him.
That's true.
Yeah. One day we'll grind up our one day we'll be academically savvy enough to stand against him.
Until
There-
that day, though.
There might be a better solution than Video Ninja, but I'm not aware of any. that would be better. Like aside from literally like writing your own software and putting it on an Amazon server somewhere. But I mean, we are a little bit at the mercy of the tools that are available on the internet, you know?
I mean, there's vmix call or whatever the line uses, right?
Yeah, but that's even worse. I've experienced all kinds of Unix
Okay.
problems.
I mean, there's also there is Discord. I've seen people use Discord.
Fair.
It's just a little bit more finicky,
Fair.
and
That
it
is an
doesn't
option.
look as good.
Yep.
But
All right.
anyway, we should move on to another guest. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get our next guest in here. We're gonna get the truth is the truth.
The truth is the truth. Great.
What's up?
Welcome in.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
We can
Hey,
hear
how's it
you.
going?
Are you at least
Yo.
18 and do you believe in God?
Yeah, I'm 24. I believe in God. I'm a Muslim.
Awesome.
Nice.
And what's your best argument
Can you guys
or
hear me?
evidence
I don't know if it's delayed.
for
We can hear
Yeah,
you
we can hear you.
being
Can you hear
real?
us?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Is there a delay?
I think his connection's bad.
A little bit.
Ironically.
But I can hear you. I can hear you.
So let's do a delay test. I'm going to count to 3. I want you to say 4 when you hear me say 3. 1, 2, 3.
4.
All right, we got a 4-second delay. It might be a little much. Do you have Wi-Fi available anywhere?
Yeah, I'm using my Wi-Fi at the moment.
Oh. All right. Well, we'll try it. What's your best evidence or argument for the God you believe in being real?
I would say, being justice. Say, I don't understand. I just wanted to ask you guys a question.
He's breaking
with
up.
regards to sort of.
Truth, Truth, I'm sorry, but your connection's breaking up. It's really bad. It's lagging and it's breaking up. I don't think you're actually connected to your Wi-Fi. I think you should disconnect from it and reconnect to it. Hopefully he's reconnecting right now.
Yeah, better now? Hello?
We can hear you.
Better now?
We can hear you.
Yeah?
We can hear you.
I just wanted to say, when from your view, when somebody passes away, there is just nothingness, or is so, for example, somebody has committed heinous crimes and done the most despicable things and will be found or brought to justice in this world. I just want to know what do you guys think when they do pass away? What is your understanding of what happened?
They're gone, like everybody else. They're gone.
Yeah, it's an unjust world. Yeah.
So they get away. So in your understanding of it, that obviously because you don't believe there's a God that will punish them for what they've done, you would say that they've just gotten away with it.
Yeah.
In some sense, but also they're dead. Yeah. So like, it's not like they're like celebrating. Haha, I got away with it. Like, they're dead. Mm-hmm. They're done.
Wouldn't a punishment be applicable for somebody who's done something disgusting or heinous or the most worst crimes to you or your family? You would feel like that's just okay for them to just get off scot-free, when we believe that no, they won't. Actually, they will be punished for their crimes.
So the problem with what you're saying is that you're conflating descriptive versus normative, saying like there's a reason for them to be punished, i.e. they're deserving of punishment. We totally agree they're deserving of punishment. That's a normative claim. We're making the descriptive claim that they don't get punishment. It would be, if the argument is like it would be cool if they got punished, like we agree it would be cool if they got punished. It doesn't follow from the fact that it would be cool if they got punished that they actually did get punished.
Not cool, Ian. I would say just.
Mm-hmm. Same thing. It doesn't follow from the fact that it would be just if they got punished, that they did get punished.
So you would say that, again, you would say that they've done something, this world totally wrong, okay, to justice, like I used in front of a judge, been punished here, they get away. Like there's okay from your understanding, it's just they go to nothingness. Death is punishment. I'm guessing.
Buddy, your connection is so bad we can't make out what you're saying. Unless it's on our end. It might be on our end.
Because
Fuck, might be on both of our ends.
because the last guy that was up, his connection was bad as well. It's maybe
No.
the system that you guys have here, it's a bit laggy. I don't know.
No, I think it's actually I think it's on my end. I
The
think
last
there's
guy who was up, I can't remember his
I
name.
think there's an issue with the fiber optic in my area. I think somebody fucking ran into a telephone pole or something.
Wait, they're saying that everyone in chat saying that we're fine.
Maybe it wasn't written for me.
Okay, chat says we're good. It's just guess. Yes, I think it's guess. Guess.
Yeah, you guys are always fine. No, you guys are always fine as guests.
Yeah. Okay. So the problem we have here with this whole justice claim is that in the Quran it doesn't say that people get punished for their crimes. Like the people who go to hell are the people who disbelieve. Like there are lots of people that are Muslims and that they will be forgiven. That's why it says that Allah is most merciful, that He always forgives. Which means if you commit heinous crimes and Allah forgives you, there is no punishment. Hell isn't the punishment.
No, you'll still be punished, Muslim, because Muslim just
How?
needs to submit to God.
How do you get punished?
You would go to hell. You would go to hell for a period of time.
So He doesn't forgive
that's
you?
the understanding.
Because the Quran
No,
says that
you'll be forgiven, but you will have to taste the
that
hellfire.
they go to hell forever.
Disbelievers who don't believe in God. A Muslim is someone who submits to God but commits sins. If somebody commits sins, that doesn't mean that they don't believe in God. That means that they're just committing sins, right? But somebody who outright just
Interesting.
disbelieves in the
Well,
Creator.
I mean, that certainly is true that maybe that's something that you believe. That's not a passage I've seen in the Quran. I haven't read all of the Quran. I'm in the middle of reading it right now. If you could show me that verse in the Quran, I'd love to mark it in mind so I have it for future reference. Where can I find it where it says that believers will actually go to hell temporarily?
Look, I don't know if it's in the Quran or the Hadith, but I know it's a teaching in the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So I know that is been written down. That is people who are Muslim, but they do sin. Again, Muslim means to submit to God. Anyone who submits to God but falls into sin, they will taste the hellfire for a period of time, because there's different levels of hellfire, so there's different levels of punishment, right? So I would say that they would face it for a period of time and then they would eventually come out, but nobody wants to face it. Like you wouldn't want to face it, but I'm just saying this is from our sort of paradigm. That's what it is. You asked for the verse. I can try and leave here and look at it for you and try to bring the verse, but I don't know if the connection is going to stay.
Well, I'm not doubting that the verse exists. Again, I haven't read the entire Quran. I'm in the middle of reading it right now. I am just saying that if it does exist, I'd like to know about it. That way I can mark it and have
sure. I'll try
have
and
it ready.
Well, as a Muslim, the Quran and the Hadith they go hand in hand, right? You can't be, you can't just have one and reject the other.
We've seen, we've talked to quite a few Quran-only Muslims. I don't know if you're required to believe the Hadith, but that's not really important to us, like that type of minutia. What I am concerned about
those
is this
Quran-only
topic
Muslims.
of hell that we've brought up. So, for example, like you believe that I go to hell, right? So imagine I live a good life, right? And I don't commit any heinous crimes, but I just don't believe in this religion. That means I go to hell forever. Why does my state of belief require me to go to hell and get tortured forever?
I'm not one to say where you end up, sir. I'm not God. I will not have any confidence in saying right now you are going to hell.
Well, the Quran says I'm going to hell.
That's only for God to decide. No, but you could have a 360 change and read the Quran and believe in the Quran and worship God.
I
and
don't.
Then you end up not
the more I
going to
read
hell.
it, the less I believe it. But it says in Quran 3:116,
But is it a
for those
possibility?
who disbelieve, neither their possessions nor their children will help them against God. They will be companions in the fire, there to remain. So that's me. I'm the disbeliever. I'm the person who doesn't believe, right? So why is my state of belief require me to get tortured and fire forever?
Well, again, I'm not in a position to say who is and who isn't going to hell because I'm not God, right? I don't know
But the
what
Quran says it.
when you're
Is the
reading
Quran
it how your
true?
heart posture is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it says.
Okay,
Yes, yes,
so
that's
if
what
the
it says.
Quran's
That's what it
true, that
says.
means I go to hell.
That is, if you pass away, yeah. If you pass away in disbelief and not worshiping God and not believing He existed or associating partners with God, then God says you will, yes, you will be punished, and that's what
Right.
God says. I
So
now, as a human
so what I'm
being,
trying to figure
just
out
like
then is
you in this
why.
world, I cannot say you're going to hell.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to figure out is why. Why do I go to hell according to the Quran for just not having the right mental state?
Because a message came to you to worship God in the correct format and you denied it and you was ignorant in it.
Well, I don't
You know,
believe it.
you're a creation of
So
God. So
the problem that I have is I don't believe it to be true. I can't accept something if I believe it to be false.
or are you talking about just the message of the Quran or you don't believe God exists at all?
Both.
There you go then. It's not just the Quran that you have a problem with. You clearly just don't believe that God exists
I mean,
any
obviously,
paradigm from any understanding.
my question is, why does my
You
disbelief
know?
need to be tortured in hell? Like, what about me not believing in God makes him so mad that he has to torture me?
Because he created you.
So what?
Why would you not want to submit your why would you not want to submit your will to
No, it's not
worshiping
about what I want.
yeah.
It's not about what
the
I
God that
want.
created you?
No, you don't choose what you believe. You're either convinced or you're not. So I'll ask again, what about me not believing requires me to be tortured for eternity? Why is God's feeling so hurt that I don't believe in him that he has to torture me?
Because he sent you messengers upon messengers
And I don't believe
revealing
them.
scripture
They're
and you
not good
denied them.
witnesses.
You denied them.
The
Yeah.
Quran's not trustworthy. I don't believe it.
Well, we can go into that whole argument, and then it's just you're just gonna. Is this about proving God's existence, or is this about exegeting Quranic
Both.
verses?
Both. The reason why I don't
What I'm
believe in
saying
your
to you
specific
is,
God is because the Quran is ridiculous. It says things that are clearly not true, like stars are in the lowest heavens, and that Allah shoots them to kill the devils like missiles. It's a ridiculous thing to believe in. It says that the mountains were placed firmly on the earth to keep it from
that's
shaking. The mountains don't prevent the earth from shaking. That's preposterous.
what the Quran is. Maybe you may see something that may seem like, oh, what does that mean? But there's actually real meaning behind it, and there's people, scientists, who have understood those verses differently. Muslim scientists, Muslim
Then you explain
scholars
it.
who have understood those verses differently. I'm not a scholar.
debating them. I'm debating
I'm not
you.
a scholar though.
Okay, so if you can't debate
Yeah,
it,
but I'm not a scholar,
that
so I
means you
can't
forfeit.
tell you. But there is answers though. But hold on.
Just saying I don't know.
Are you
I'm not
saying
a
that there's no
scholar. Is
answers
just
for
an
what you just said?
admission. It's just an admission that
No.
you can't debate.
Are you
That's
saying
fine.
that there's no explanation of it though?
We'll take your forfeit.
Is there not?
We'll take your forfeit.
So
It's
is
your
there not an
job to
explanation
it's your
for
job
it?
to find
Would
the
you say?
explanation. There's no good explanation. No, and if there was, you'd have
I mean, I
it.
can go off and bring you the explanation,
Do
but
it.
it's just going to be all
Do
day
it.
long, right? But
Do
you
it.
believe in a world. But you
Do
believe in
it.
a world. So what do you want me to
Do
bring
it.
back? Go and tell me. What is it
Find
that
me.
you found?
Find me
Hold on. What is it that
scientifically
you
where it's
found
true that the
that you
stars are
said?
used as missiles to kill devils.
And find me scientifically proven that they're not.
I don't have to. We know that stars aren't missiles that get shot to the earth to kill devils.
Scientifically prove the Earth
Okay,
isn't
yeah,
flat.
that's from your understand.
Do you know what a star is?
That's from your understanding.
You know what a star
Farashnaha
is?
is not meaning the Earth
Do you know
is
what a
flat.
star
It was
is?
made flat for us to walk on it.
He's desperately trying to get away from the stars verse. So again,
I'm asking you a
what a star
question,
is?
but you guys can't. You
Do you know what a star is?
star is a giant, is a gas giant, is it not?
I mean, typically, yeah. It's basically, plasma, right? So the question I have is how can God use stars, something that would literally destroy the earth, to use as missiles to kill like evil spirits and whatnot?
Just an understanding that God that's what He does. You can't prove to me He
But
doesn't.
look,
He does
You
not.
so
know, so
stars
you're
are
in the
bigger
same
than
boat.
the Earth. Well, no, I mean, we kind of can. So stars are bigger than the Earth. And so if he's slamming stars into the Earth would be destroyed. Like, the entirety of the Earth would be destroyed.
Yeah.
Who said he's slamming stars into the earth? Where is it that you read that?
Well,
That he's slamming
Sorry,
stars
where are the
into the earth?
demons? Where are the demons?
They're in a realm that we don't understand. They're here, they're up there, they're everywhere.
They're on the
So
Earth.
Wait a minute.
What's your
Wait,
point?
so there are demons here on Earth that he's smiting with stars
We
as
can't
missiles?
see them. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
but
so
there's
if
also
he's
demons
smiting
up
them
there.
with stars, I don't care about where else they are. If there are any here, then that means that he would be slamming stars into the Earth.
Yeah. Do you see shooting stars? What's a shooting star to you
Shooting
guys? What does
stars
that mean?
aren't
What's your
stars,
understanding of
it
that?
turns out. They're meteorites.
Yeah.
Or
Ancient
they're
people didn't
meteors,
know that.
Yeah,
technically.
that's what it is then. So
Oh, okay. So like
so
the
again,
Quran got it
you've gone
wrong,
past.
and it's
So again,
not
you've gone
about
past
stars.
the.
It's about like lumpy
No,
rocks of iron.
no way. No, Quran is never wrong.
'Cause they're not
You guys don't
stars.
want to admit to the
definitely not
fact that you
stars.
don't. You guys don't want to admit to the
Whoever
fact.
wrote the Quran had
You
no
guys
idea
don't
that
wanna
there's a
admit to
difference
the
between meteors and stars, which is why now in the modern
Whoever
age,
wrote
now
your
that we
book
actually
doesn't
know what
understand.
was in, we don't
Whoever
have a
wrote the
book.
atheist book.
There's no atheist book.
Whoever wrote the atheist
Well,
book.
there are.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
called
So you
science
guys just blind
textbooks.
follow nothingness.
True. That is true. Yeah. Okay, so just
It's
to be
pretty
clear,
sad,
then,
right? You guys believe
the
that somebody can
stars
do
are
something to your
not
family and get
used
away with it.
as missiles to kill devils. I want to make sure that's the claim.
I do not have enough information to discuss that with you. I told you what it is, and
You-
I said to you,
you
prove that it's not.
definitely
You couldn't.
don't.
So you're
So
in the
what's
same
your-
boat.
So what's your argument
we
for God
did,
since
and
you
then
have
you-
nothing for the Quran?
Again.
Just to be clear, we did prove that stars are not being used to smite demons. You just moved the goalposts and you said, but what about shooting stars? Those are
You
meteors,
don't even
not
believe in
stars.
demons. You don't even believe in demons. You
True.
don't
I know
even
this is an
believe in
internal
demons in the first
it's an
place.
internal
Yep.
critique, my guy.
So exactly. So it's like, how are
Get
you
with the
talking about
program.
demons when you don't even believe in it? So
Yeah, little buddy. We don't believe in the
Like,
Quran. We're
prove they
saying that
don't.
this thing
Prove
is
they don't.
false.
Prove they don't
We're
exist.
asking for some evidence that it's
Yeah,
true.
you can't.
Also,
What's the evidence that it's true? What we're doing
you guys
right
are
now
playing
is
Pascal's
evidential
wager.
analysis.
Pascal's
we're looking
wager,
at the
man.
evidence in favor of it versus the evidence against it.
Bro's using Pascal's wager when Pascal used it to argue for the Christian God.
What's the
That's
what's the
ironic.
verse?
I know,
What's
which
the what's
is
the what's the
wild.
verse for the stars? My buddy on the top there. What's the verse that you're referring to with the stars? So I can search it up, please. What's the
I mean,
verse?
yeah, being used as missiles. Hold on, I'll get you for it.
Yeah. What's that verse?
Quran 67:5. Also, the prophet was wrong about the end times. He says that the end times was coming imminently, both in the Quran and in the Hadith in Sahih Muslim 2953b. He says it's coming basically within their lifetime. The judgment was a failure. Just like Jesus, all these doomsday prophets thought that the end was right around the corner, and it wasn't.
When did the prophet say the judgment day is coming in his lifetime before he passes away? Where did he say
Hold on,
that?
just to be clear, don't dodge. He gave you the verse from the Quran where it says that
Yeah, I
God
am, but he
uses
just said something that I want to know where
stars
that is
like
because
lamps
that's
and
a
make them
lie.
as missiles for stoning eavesdropping
We'll get there
devils.
next.
He wants to scramble away.
You
To answer the question,
you guys are so
what's the
narcissistic and
evidence for this
cocky, man.
verse? Do you hold that verse to be true? Were you just asking for the verse as like a little clinch so that you can bide some time?
Definitely.
Can you let me read the verse and understand it, please? I'm searching for it. Am I not allowed
Yeah.
to, or is that
I'll read it to you.
something that you
It's
guys?
And
67.5.
we adored
No,
the
it's not about
lowest
what you
heaven
read
with
to me. I wanna
stars
know what
like
my scholars
lamps
say
and
in it.
made them as missiles for
Yeah.
stoning
Yeah.
eavesdropping devils,
Yeah.
for whom we have also prepared
Yeah.
the torment of the blaze.
Good. So can I read my Islamic scholars who have an understanding of it better than you would, who speak Arabic and can
Yeah, go
read
for
Arabic?
it.
Would that be okay?
Do it.
Yeah, go for
We've
it.
got a
Do
friend
it.
Thank you so
in,
much.
Yeah, I'm okay
we
with
got a
that.
friend in chat who reads Arabic if you think that's important.
No, guess not.
So, how's the weather? It's been crazy lately.
Oh yeah, you guys probably got a bad snowstorm last week.
Oh, yeah. But I was just trying to make stupid small talk. It wasn't
Okay,
that
no,
bad.
but
It wasn't that bad of a snowstorm.
okay. Well, I'm a desert baby, so any
Hmm.
snowstorm is a bad snowstorm.
Mm.
Well, to be fair, like where I'm at, it's not a snowstorm unless you get a foot. And
Yeah, I know. Ohio is built different.
yeah, it's just one of those things. Not only do we have to
They
put
have
up
to be
with
able to brag
Ohio
about
winters,
something.
but we have to root for the fucking Browns. It's a double whammy.
Well, I was in Ohio. You know, I was in Ohio for Thanksgiving, and there was like a whole day that was completely occupied by the Ohio State versus Michigan game, and like I just couldn't. There is no possible way on this planet that I could care less about something than I did about that.
I get it. Hey, by the way, in the Tafsir, it says that these stars were only created for 3 purposes. Allah created them to adorn for the heaven, meaning the sky, as missiles for the devils, and as signs for navigations. So the signs for navigation are fixed stars. Those are the ones that he says are being used as missiles. The ones that actually are not for navigation, but he lumps them in the same group. A star is a star.
You know, couldn't God just snap these motherfuckers out of existence? It seems kind of redundant.
I know. It's crazy that they think that the stars are in the lowest heavens too, like where the lowest layer of the sky is. Savage says Ohio is for lovers. I thought Virginia's slogan was that Virginia
Virginia.
is for lovers.
Yeah, it is.
Ohio's the heart of it all.
Ohio is literally a meme word, and it means sucks.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not
Bro,
disagreeing.
that's so Ohio.
You're not wrong. Nobody wants to
Wait,
live
I don't know
here.
if this guy knows or if he's aware. Hey, buddy, if you're off the app, we can't hear you. You must be on the app. You got to return to the app if you're like saying something. I don't know if you know that.
He's like probably out there reading some tafsir.
Desperately scrambling.
You get lost?
Yeah.
Allah didn't guide you.
He was on his way down to the Quran store. And he got lost.
Uh.
All right, should we just move on?
Yeah, I guess so. Come back when you find the passage. Okay?
Oh wait, he's back. He's back.
Oh,
back.
fuck.
He's back.
Oh fuck.
Nope, he's gone.
Okay.
Oh wow. He'll join back up. Hold on.
Whoops.
He's gonna request back up. No? Okay. Well, I guess we'll move
Guess
on.
not.
Let's grab a super chat so we'll get our next guest in here. Relax with Russell. Thank you for the super chat, friend. Says, if by its very nature it wouldn't do it, isn't that the same as saying it lacks the capacity to do its nature? We're gonna get deep on this particular argument today, apparently.
I don't
actually-
think so.
I actually think that this is a good point. Because, look, could God not... when we say that God has the capability, the power to do a bad thing, what we mean is, if God was not all good, then this is something that might happen. But God is all good, so he's not going to do it, right? But God can't be not all good. That's essential. So I think that there's a problem here insofar as by saying he has a power is akin to saying if God had the propensity to do it, then he would do it. But it's impossible under standard definitions of God for God to have that propensity.
Well, I'd actually like to hear a good argument, and I bet Ian probably knows one. A good argument for why God has to be good.
So there's like a couple of ways of motivating that. I mean, like there's like people who hold like a conception that he's not good. Deists, for example, or Gnostics, etc. But one way that you might motivate that, you might say that God's all-knowing and he's like perfectly rational. And one of the entailments of that is that he just knows all of the moral facts. And because he's perfectly rational, he acts with, perfect rationality. He knows all the moral facts. All the moral facts are, reason giving. They're normative.
Yep.
So he just has like reason to do all of those things.
But wait a minute. If you're going to hold a view that God is that there are moral facts independent of God.
I think
That it seem-
that you should definitely hold that view. I don't think that the view that the moral facts are like contingent on God makes any sense at all.
If he
Yeah,
knows
but
all
then you
moral
run into
facts,
other issues, right?
is it entailed that he cares about moral facts, though?
So if he's perfectly
Well, that's
rational,
true.
the idea behind morals in the
perfectly
abstract
rational.
is that you're supposed to be so ethics are supposed to be binding and motivating if they're like objective. They're supposed to be like a thing that everybody is committed
Well-
to just under circumstances of rational reflection. Like everyone needs a reason to do it. So if God is rational, then he knows the moral facts, which means that he knows like the reasons that he has to do which actions. And then he just has like a reason to do it.
Well, I don't know if we need to attribute perfect rationality to God. Like if you read the Hebrew Bible or some of the older
Well,
conceptions of
look,
deity.
once you start invoking
Right.
that, it all goes out the window. You
Yeah,
also
well,
don't get all
saying-
loving.
Right, like
I agree. Like the Hebrew God is incoherent. You know, you're not going to get a defense of like
Actually,
the God of
hold
the
on.
Bible
The Hebrew
or the
God,
Torah from me.
The Hebrew God might be coherent. It just has nothing to do with classical theism.
That's true. He's just like a guy.
Yeah,
Right.
he's just a guy with
He's a
that's
super
really
guy.
powerful and has a temper and like, yeah.
But like almost
like
all
Zeus.
the ancients, like most of the ancient people believe that that was what God was like until we get closer to like the period of the Greeks and the Romans where they got more philosophy.
Yeah.
But like, are we just saying that
You know, we-
concept of God is just strictly invalid? That can't be a concept of God?
I don't think that there's like a problem. Like I don't have like some sort of like a priori issue. It probably depends on like the formulation. You just need to get clear on the properties. There's like a ton of questions. It seems like his behaviors and his dispositions are like extremely unexplained. Like why he
Yeah.
acts this way
He's
and why
angry.
he's like petty and jealous. Like I have no clue why he is these things.
Fair enough. Okay. Good point. Reverend Nate, thank you for the super chat. Says, "At the mercy of the tools available on the internet" was the original title of the show. Oh fuck. That's a sick fucking burn right there. We're gonna pretend you mean the guest, not us. Thank you for the super chat. Thinking Tire says, "Justin, give that kitten a little treat later." Listen, I got 2 kittens, and they're both getting treats later. Although Volta was a very, very bad boy today. Volta is desperate to rip all the cables out the back of my computer and knocked over my hard drive just about an hour ago. I had to move him out of the room. But they're adorable cats, nevertheless. Discordant Rhyme says, "Believers incredulous at the idea that oblivion awaits is just the ego, just narcissism regarding our importance in the fabric of existence, or to the fabric of existence." I mean, I think sometimes it is, but I think sometimes it's just fear talking too. Like they're afraid of this idea that they're not going to exist, and for them, it's hard to imagine a world that is that kind of like cruel and indifferent, but yet here we are.
But have you considered that the fabric of existence must be grounded by an ultimate ungrounded grounder? And
Obviously.
therefore, there must be an afterlife?
Yeah, you know, grounding or being itself comes from a thing that lacks being. You know, don't think too hard about the ontological status of things that lack being.
And follow up to that from Discord Rhyme again. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says, "If I told you Kalis, is that Kalis? Who's Kalis?"
Oh, this is a Star Trek thing.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh, wait, why can't I see the... I can't see the super chat. Yeah, they say, if I told you Kalis will torture you for eternity for not watching Star Trek, you'd know I'm insane. Make it about God and the Bible, and you get tithes and a tax break. Kalis is the Klingon Jesus, kinda.
Yeah, actually, we should do a thought experiment with next time we get someone with that nonsense. Is like, let's do a thought experiment. Like, if there's a judge that wants to sentence you for not believing something, and they sentence you, we'll make it ridiculous, and we'll just ask them, is it fair that you're getting sentenced for not believing in this thing? We'll see what we can do with it. Kane says,
By the way, interestingly enough, there's an episode of Star Trek where Kalis actually does return, but it was actually a hoax by the priests to try to unify the Klingon Empire. And so what they did is they took old Kalis DNA and then made a clone, and then used magic technology to give him the memories of Kalis according to the legends.
guys,
So you know,
set
Kalis
him
is more
off.
real than Jesus.
You can't do that with him. You can't feed him like that. Kane, thank you for the.
It's called nerd sniping, and it's not nice.
Sorry, we love you for it. Does this mean that Sephiroth is Allah? Is that another reference from Star
Sephiroth?
Trek? Sephiroth?
No, this is a reference
It's
from
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Yeah,
Oh shit! I don't know none of this stuff. Okay,
I haven't played Final Fantasy.
never mind.
I haven't either.
Maybe.
But I'm in on the lore, I guess.
Jim says Quran, more like he ran. Heyo.
Heyo.
That's pretty good. And Joshua says, and Quran. Quran so far away.
Oh, it's the same joke.
Quran all night and day. Couldn't get away.
Yeah, wasn't there an 80s band called Quran? Didn't they do like Hungry Like the Wolf or something?
I think the name of that band was it? Oh, was that Dio? Who did that?
No, it was Duran Duran.
Oh, Duran Duran. There we go.
That was the joke, yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. I apologize. Yeah. That's got to be
No,
Duran.
Duran Duran also did Rio. That was another one of their songs.
Oh, that's why my brain got mixed up. Yep, you nailed it.
I think they did Rio.
I think you're right. Let's see.
Yeah, no, they did Rio.
Yeah.
It was one of their hits.
Genji, thank you for the $20 super chat. Says, Ian, can you say more about how the worldview of a Trinitarian Christian, Jesus being part of the Godhead, doesn't entail Jesus also allowing slavery? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that in theory you could. Well, so I mean, I think that the Trinity is incoherent, but let's say that it was coherent. It would be the case that you would have a Jesus and the Father, and you could say that they take different actions. That there's like an identity that they hold, which is separate from the actions that each of them as individuals take. Like certainly, they're not saying that God the Father was down there on heaven or on earth, or like God the Father resurrected from the grave, or like God the Father was friends with John. They're saying that this stuff is like these are the actions of the Son, not the Father. So likewise, it seems totally coherent to say that the person speaking to the Israelites is God the Father, not God the Son.
And he was kind of an abusive father. By the way, it's pronounced Genji, the most annoying character in Overwatch.
Oh, Genji. Okay, now I know. Thank you for that. And good question. Last super chat for now. Thank you for the super chat. It says, when Christian Philbros say, if God exists and blah, 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 shouldn't we require the if part to be shown to be true before allowing more words?
No.
Depends.
No, you can analyze a conditional, no problem. You can always analyze whether a conditional is true. You analyze, you grant the condition and you see what follows from it. Now, the three of us might contend that any such statement is trivially true because the antecedent is false, which makes any conditional true, right?
Sure.
Well, I think that probably what this person is talking about, like the situations where a Christian might say this justifiably, is if we're giving an internal critique, then they'll, we'll be asking them questions about their worldview, and then they'll be saying, well, if my worldview is correct, if God exists, then like these things would be true, which means that it's like not a problem for my view. So it seems like they could totally make, if they're getting like internally critiqued, they could totally make like an if God exists, then this, and this claim.
Fair. Yeah.
Yep, totally reasonable to analyze.
All right, let's get laptop in here. Laptop, thanks for waiting and welcome back. What do you got for us?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I was just not driving.
Your connection's a little bit slow, but we can hear you.
Fuck, maybe it is us. How can it be the case that three
Yeah,
people's
it
connections in a row are
seemed like
slow?
even your so just for
it might be
if it helps you guys. So your picture, I forget your name on the top. I apologize. Yep. So your picture is clear. Dr. Blitz's and Ian's videos are a little fuzzy. So I don't know if that.
So there is a
helps
solution
with
here, by the way.
But
at least as far as audio goes, Ian and I can both unmute in TikTok, and so long as we don't get any guests from YouTube, from the YouTube link, it should be fine. We can just unmute in TikTok, talk through our phones or whatever, and then mute our microphones.
Why would that change? What?
I don't know.
Because if our connections are if our connections are fine and it's on Justin's end, then it'll just broadcast us straight through YouTube.
Well,
or through TikTok rather.
But TikTok is going through my equipment.
Right, but it'll mean that
sure.
we'll at least be able to talk to the guests with no lag because they're on TikTok as well.
But I mean, maybe I don't really know if that is the case, but I suspect the issue is not with my connection.
Like it's
I think
not
it's actually
it's
with
not
Video
super
Ninja.
bad.
That's fine.
Can you hear me
We'll
right?
just. It's like quite bad.
Yeah, never mind. Bad idea because I can hear myself. Anyway, laptop, what you got for us?
So is the prompt we're going off of is God isn't real? Is it, or is there like a specific prompt you guys are doing?
Yeah, what do you think that God is real? If so, why?
I do, and I've had conversation with Justin and Ian about it, so they kind of know my position. But I was curious about what you would say, Dr. Blitz, because I'm just curious about your position on information. Like, how would you describe information?
Well, there's kind of two types of information, right? There's information insofar as they're just like things that appear in an order. And then there's information that we ascribe meaning to. There's like things that are arranged perhaps in some way, and we ascribe meaning to the way that those things are arranged. So, like, I take the former to be something that is kind of like, it's just a thing that happens. Things are in orders sometimes. And then I take the latter to be something that we construct.
Okay, so there would be information according to your worldview that is sort of independent from like a mind creating it.
Yeah, basically. It like as long as you understand it in the way that information is just like an orderly thing. Given that's a definition, then you can work with that. There's no issue there. And an example would just be like,
so
a crystal having a certain shape.
Okay, I got what you're saying. So, and obviously, so you would take the sort of the viewpoint that information is not, there's nothing non-physical about the nature of information. It's all can purely be described
as long as we're
from like a naturalist point of view.
So it kind of depends. On the one hand, I'm kind of a physicalist, except I don't call myself one because I'm not sure how to correctly define what physical is. But insofar as I take the view that there are arrangements of things, and then there are meanings assigned to some arrangements of things, like some arrangements of letters or whatever. The meaning is conceptual, and whether concepts are physical, in some sense you could say that they are under some sort of physicalist worldview, in which case, yeah, I would say that it's just like a thing that exists in the physical world, in the same way that like when you run a program on your computer, that's like not really physical, but it's kind of physical. So I would say it's physical in that way.
Okay, and then just going along those same lines, when you obviously the sort of the Christian perspective is, human beings are, body, soul. There's an immaterial aspect of being a human being. How would you sort of grapple with that from a physicalist perspective?
I wouldn't say that there is an immaterial aspect.
But I guess what's different from that, your caveats with information being, and like these, you just said it's not really, like, you had some caveats when it comes to information and software being like sort of non-physical, whereas like in a human being perspective, it seems like physicalists are very hard set on claiming that there is no non-physical nature to being.
So when I say that there are like sort of non-physical things, it just really depends on what you mean by physical, which is why I don't call myself physicalist per se, because it's not clear what that means. But like I would say that the kinds of features that human minds have are very similar in nature to the kinds of features that operating systems and programs on a computer have. Insofar as like a program isn't like an object, right? It's not like a physical thing, but somehow it is entirely made of a physical arrangement of matter. And so it's just like some emergent pattern that we see from some physical stuff, right? And that's kind of how I take like concepts like information or even the mind itself as being.
Oh, right. So you would draw a distinction between the mind and the brain then?
Well, sure, insofar as, and I'm going to use the computer analogy here again, I would say that like the brain is like the physical computer and the mind is like the operating system that is running on the computer.
And then so within both analogies, you would say that they're, I guess the question is software purely physical as far as can it be fully explained, like the specific functions of it, just by the physics and chemistry of it?
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
for
and that
software specifically, yeah,
absolutely.
obviously.
And so if that's what you mean by physical, that you can fully explain all of its behavior in terms of physics and chemistry, then yeah, I would take the same to be the case for, the mind.
I guess my pushback would be that the ascribing of meaning to things like like the code that goes in the software, there's a higher level ascribing of meaning to those to what those specific arrangements of zeros and ones from a mind. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like it's you can't really separate the ascribing of meaning of the sequence of the the sequence of the zeros and ones without you can't take away the mind aspect of it. Does that make sense? And I would say that sort of transcends just the physical nature of the.
You kind of can though, right? Like, so if you just handed somebody a box, you don't have to know at all. If you hand somebody a computer, you don't have to know anything about how that computer got to where it got, how that computer was assembled, how that computer was, whatever, how that computer got there, how the software got on it. You don't have to know anything about it to completely and exactly predict the way it will behave just by doing a microscopic analysis of, the processor and the RAM and the disk and all of this stuff. Like with sufficiently good information about the physical configuration of just the computer, you can entirely predict how it will behave without knowing anything about like a mind that created it or anything.
Right, but the software is contingent on a mind creating it, though, correct?
Not really. I mean, that, like, practically speaking, that's where the software comes from. But like, there's nothing that physically bars software from spontaneously emerging from a random quantum process, right?
Is it though? I mean, but
there's no law of physics that prevents that from being the case.
You wouldn't have any proof of that. Do you have proof of that claim?
Sure, I would. Like insofar as spontaneous arrangements of matter are like physically allowed by quantum mechanics, then yeah, like that's sufficient to demonstrate the point. And this is a thing that's
spontaneous arrangements of matter with specific. Because when we're talking about software, it's with specific function. So is there any instance of that with specific function relating to information?
The point is the information is entirely captured by the physical arrangement, right? So it would be very strange if you're saying that, oh yeah, you could absolutely have this spontaneous arrangement of matter arise completely randomly, while having, like something particularly complex. But the one that has Microsoft Word programmed into it, that one's impossible. But the one that has Microsoft Word programmed into it, but just scrambled, that's possible. Like, it seems like you're making a distinction that doesn't exist at the physical level.
But I see what you're saying, but I could make the same argument against that point, just with the opposite position, don't you?
What's the argument?
That it's not possible for those spontaneous sort of arrangements of those, whatever you're ascribing, and then you also have to ascribe a meaning to whatever you're using as the base. Like if you like the zeros and ones within a software, a mind is, saying what's a zero and what's a one, relating to something that's physical. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look, we can abstract this away from
like whether
the
it's like
physical
an
processes are
up
complicated.
electron or a down or whatever, or the
But
spin
like,
of
imagine that I just gave you imagine that I gave you a imagine I gave you a like an SSD, and it was completely empty. It was, all zeros or something like this. And then we just turned on a machine that just generated random sequences of zeros and ones in the SSD, right? Maybe you put it in a heat bath and you let the energy flow
Right.
randomly so that it
Can
could
I ask a clarifying
spontaneously
question
rearrange,
quick?
whatever it is. Yeah, sure.
So the zeros and ones within this analogy, though,
These are physical things.
You're
I'm
still
calling them
not
zeros and ones, but it's like literally a magnetic tape or something.
right. So a mind would have to ascribe to what is a zero and what is a one. It's not. It's
Not really. I'm just using this to
a brute
communicate
fact
to you.
what is a zero and what is a one. Correct.
Okay, so I will change the analogy so it's more appreciable by you. So imagine that you had an SSD, and in the SSD there are certain electrons that are important, or there are certain electrons that critically change the behavior of the SSD when plugged into another arrangement of matter. And we just let those particular electrons vary randomly. We hook them up to a machine that just varies them randomly. Now, most of the time, when we hook that SSD up to a computer, nothing will happen. But sometimes you'll get Microsoft Word out, or you'll get Minecraft or Paint, or I don't know, whatever that music GarageBand app that Apple has. The point is that if you're randomizing the configuration, sometimes you'll get nothing, sometimes you'll get something. And when I say something, it'll be like some familiar program.
Okay, I mean that's true in the sense of like if we're talking about just like RNG, the random number, like if it's RNG,
Yeah, that's
like
what
yeah,
I'm
you
talking
could
about.
get specific, but
So there's
I
nothing
guess
stopping
time-wise,
there's nothing stopping a
I mean,
fully formed.
if there's more,
Oh, there's a delay.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying if there was more sort of random possibilities that there are observable particles in the universe, you wouldn't say that it's there's a point to where it's say you can't it's not literally possible for that to spontaneously arise. Do you,
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Like if the possibilities are
that's not how that
so
works,
broad
right?
that it's like
It's literally possible. It might not be plausible. But the point is, the only reason we got into this analogy is because you said, well, you can't have, like, it's impossible for, matter to arrange itself spontaneously in a way that would give rise to, like, a computer program. But, like, you just agreed that it is technically possible. It just might be very, very unlikely. But all that means is that the computer, with the programs built in, they don't really, there's nothing saying that it must have been produced by a mind. It just maybe it's just it was very likely that it was produced by a mind, but that's not like a physical necessity. And so it's totally plausible that you could just hand someone a computer and they're just like, okay, yeah, I don't need to know that it came from a mind. In fact, there's no guarantee that it came from a mind, and I can still analyze its entire behavior without knowing where it came from and still be able to make an exact prediction about how it will function.
I see what you're saying. I think you may be misinterpreting sort of my argument just because you really you blew past the when you're at the when it comes to information, there's inherently a mind behind ascribing meaning to these symbols. You know what I mean? So like when you're ascribing
behind
meaning
ascribing
to,
meaning,
like
but
say
not
if, like for
behind
quantum
ascribing, not behind ascribing function, or not behind generating function rather, right?
Yeah, but the function is directly tied to the meaning of the symbols.
No, it's not. There doesn't have to be any meaning in order for something to have function. Function is just the way a thing behaves, right?
Okay, I guess I would have to I might write that down. You said there doesn't have to be. Hold on, can you just
there doesn't have to be meaning
for 2 seconds. There doesn't have to be.
There doesn't have to be meaning in order to have function.
Doesn't have to be meaning. In order for function. Okay. Yeah, I would just have to explore that deeper. I'm and just to be transparent, the overarching argument is, if there's anytime that we see words or information, I would say, that has a specific function or meaning, specifically, it comes from a mind. So when we see the information in like DNA that has a specific function, I don't think it's not illogical to infer higher up that there was, sort of the origin of it is from a mind. So
right, but that assumes that there's intrinsic that there's
that's
intrinsic
sort of
meaning,
why I wanted
right?
to pick your brain specifically on information, just because I think that you probably have.
Well,
you
I mean,
probably
like we have a
thought about
computer
this
we have a
stuff,
computer scientist here, so, or at least somebody with a computer science degree.
Yeah. I mean, so I would agree, right? Like
Is that you, Ian?
Yeah, I'm like a software engineer. That's my job. So I agree. Code, when a coder sits down and writes code, they are like embedding like some sort of like intentional meaning into the word, or like into like what's getting written down. But the problem is that when the code that gets written down is expressed, it doesn't care. Like the thing that's expressing it at like the low level of a computer, that's actually doing like the computations, doing the functions, like it works the same whether this code was written by a coder, whether it was randomly generated. No matter how these like ones and zeros came to be is irrelevant to the fact that it's going to get expressed the same way. So something can have a function, and then it came from like an intentional agent, or something can have a function and it didn't. What determines its function is the form of the thing, and the form of the thing could come about through a variety of different mechanisms.
Right. So I guess again, my question would be, what proof do you have that there is these sort of information related, whatever systems within the universe that produce a specific function that didn't have a sort of a mind or associated with it? Because you made that claim,
Well, yeah,
and Dr. Blitz made that claim too. But do you have any proof?
I mean, we know that randomness exists in our universe, at least at some level. And so if randomness can exist, which, you can argue about whether there's pseudo-randomness in quantum mechanics, whatever it might be. But as long as randomness exists, then you can produce any arrangement of stuff. And it doesn't require intent or a mind.
Right. Okay. So, and then also, so randomness exists. I guess, how does that? Where do you see randomness
in quantum mechanics
in the physical world? How so?
Well, I mean, if you take the Copenhagen interpretation, which is probably the most popular, then whenever a
most
macroscope,
wrong.
Yeah, it's the most nonsensical, but it is still the most popular. If you take the Copenhagen interpretation, whenever a macroscopic system interacts with a microscopic system, the microscopic system's quantum wave function collapses and chooses an eigenbasis or an eigenvector randomly from among the available ones.
So, are you ascribing this sort of randomness to where? I guess I'm sort of grappling with it just from an internal critique as like I mean, does that clash with determinism then? Would you reject determinism on off that same?
There is a type of
basis?
determinism. There's a type of determinism which I accept, and a type of determinism I reject. Determinism within our branch, yeah, I would reject it. But determinism overall, I take the many worlds interpretation seriously. So in the many worlds interpretation, there is universal determinism, but each individual branch appears non-deterministically. Or appears non-deterministic. So if you find yourself in a branch, which of course we do, the world will look very non-deterministic to you. But that's just because you find yourself in one branch rather than
Do you see and just from where am I going? So you're using it. You're saying like pragmatically, determinism is true within
No, the other way around. Pragmatically, it's false.
in pragmatically it's false, but
is he lagging?
He's lagging for me too.
Within
I think all of us might be lagging.
you
I think all of us might be lagging.
you lag out that when you're trying to
No.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think I'm still. This is so sad.
I can hear you guys okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's actually, it was on his end, actually. It seems like it's fine now on TikTok. I can at least hear things just fine.
Yeah.
But now I can't hear. Okay, there you go. Great. So, yeah, the point is that as far as any individual observer is concerned, the universe behaves probabilistically, randomly, if you will. In at least some respects.
I guess it's just interesting because I can make that same, and I have made that same sort of argument for specific information as relating to a function, but why would I guess what's your argument against if I were to live as if as an individual observer that specific information with a function is only sort of derived from a mind, whereas there's just as your explanation for determinism, and that any individual can just assume randomness because of these.
My view is backed by essentially like the entirety of quantum physics. So, like mine's not just like some random assertion. This is just like this is the way that we understand physics, right?
I guess, but why would your understanding of quantum physics sort of differ from sort of like an individual observer just believing in randomness, when the two sort of seem like they conflict?
Oh, yeah. So this is a question that needs more, experimental observation, right? Like we don't know if there's actual genuine randomness and only one world, or if there are, many worlds, and in each individual world an observer observes randomness, but each possibility is actualized in one particular world, in which case there would be no randomness. This is something that still needs more investigation. But regardless, in either case, an observer in a given world, an observer in the world, whether there's only one or many, an observer in a world will always see randomness, like in their own experience.
And
right?
when you say many worlds, you would still describe all of those worlds as the observable universe, or
no, they are by definition non-observable. Universe? By definition, they're not part of the unobservable universe. They are disjoint branches, I should say.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I would love to.
But like, I mean, like that, like you could reject that. You could reject that, and regardless, in quantum mechanics, we still have randomness. Randomness is still there. Regardless of what your preferred interpretation of quantum mechanics is, there is randomness, whether epistemic or ontological.
Well, do you have anything to recommend on, because you said on that specific
yes
example of what causes the randomness?
Yeah, read Something Deeply Hidden. Something Deeply Hidden by Sean Carroll.
Deeply Hidden?
Yeah. At the end of Something Deeply Hidden, you basically get like a PhD in physics.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah. Not even, Dr. Fritz hasn't read every Sean Carroll book, but if he did, then he would just become like the leading expert in all of physics.
That's true.
Not even Sean Carroll has read every Sean Carroll book.
True.
Nah. That was, or
Oh,
I don't know if it's early.
I'm getting connection issues again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just. I guess that's. I got to bounce, but no, I appreciate the conversation, and I'll have to tap in if I'm gonna look into this a little bit, and we'll have to have another conversation.
Yeah,
sometime.
please do.
Oh, thanks for coming by, man. Good to hear from you again. Hope you're doing well.
You too. See you, boys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Laptop's
good one.
always been a good faith interlocutor when I've spoken with him.
Yep. He seems polite enough.
Yeah, for sure. Well, friends, he was our last guest. Let's read some super chats and then carry about our business. The Zener Thran, thank you for the $5 super chat, says, at Dr. Blitz, maybe it's because I'm in Salt Lake, but can you tell a biologist from a physicist? From what I've seen, they seem to have different styles.
If you mean like the way that they dress,
Like, can you intuit?
well, I mean, I don't know. Physicists. So I did my PhD in California, and a lot of the physicists I've interacted with are West Coast or are from New Zealand or Australia, and these are all famously places that are very casual. And when I picture a biologist, they always seem more put together. But like that might just be a bias. And so like, you know, maybe if you see somebody who's dressed like a schlub, then you can assume that they're a physicist and not a biologist. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. All right. PSA Clerk for Justice, Truth, and Peace. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says the world teacher, aka Imam Mahdi. Yeah, we know about him. Will be seen and heard by all as soon as we're ready. Has physical body, huge cover up, UFOs too. Detail. Yeah. No free clout. Bob, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It says, I know Justin loves the Bible and similar texts, but I just want to point out that we have far better literature which sustains and enriches our minds. Paul Celan's poetry is just one example. Rock hard for Doug. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Bob. And you're right. We do have good literature out there. It's true.
Justin, just to be clear, the previous guy, technically it wasn't free clout.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, you're right. He paid $10 for that clout.
But also no paid clout?
Yeah. I don't know. How about, just
Actually-
no gibberating?
Well, okay, so here's a thought.
The clout is expensive, put it that way.
Well,
If you gave $100, we'd probably read it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is like maybe we should allow paid clout, but at a set price,
Yeah.
right? Maybe for the set price of $100, you can pitch whatever business you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In 150 characters or less.
Yep.
I'd definitely be amenable to that one. Bob, I do agree. There's much better literature out there. I'm on chapter 4 of the Quran, and here's what I've done so far. I'm tabbing the different sections of the Quran, but I've got a red tab for every time hell is mentioned. And the thing that you'll recognize pretty quickly is that pretty much every page mentions hell.
Yep.
This whole book's going to be nothing but red tabs by the time I get done with it. So it's been a fun read. Bryce
Islamic
Aroni-
hell. I actually think the problem of hell is like a decisive defeater to Islam. I actually just don't think there's any way around it. Like it's just insane.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the whole book is about hell, basically. Bryce Roney says, my favorite begging the question fallacy is when Christians say, if God is who he says he is, then XYZ, why should I grant that God said anything? You definitely shouldn't.
True.
But Bryce Roney, this is kind of how the Christians get around Jesus being a failed Messiah, is that he's like, well, if he is who he says he is, then that means the lies he told aren't lies. No, they're still lies. That doesn't fix the problem. Karen says, if you're looking for a banger of a tome on the philosophy of information, Luciano Floridi wrote Information, a very short introduction. It calls out data and information. It calls out data and information are different.
I really like the very short introduction series.
I have to check into it. It sounds good. Thank you for that, Karen. I appreciate the recommendation. Good question. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I meant to say is that Phil Bros abuse hypotheticals and pull a plantinga to prove anything by chaining multiple conditions that we naively accept. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. That's why I don't do the philosophy very very well. So when I get Phil Bros up here, I force them to support every one of their claims. I'm like the least reluctant to accept any premise of any argument until it's supported. Even though there probably are occasions where I should accept it blindly because that's probably been proven. I think the burden of proof on all the premises is always going to be on the theist to prove, and you should never just blindly accept them. If you don't understand them, like if you're dumb with philosophy like I am, just ask for the support. Make them support it. Usually they can't support it. Instant egg roll says, unapologetic at breakfast, now unapologetic at lunch. Appreciate all three of you and the knowledge you share. Well, thank you, Instant egg rolls. I hope you enjoyed breakfast and lunch while watching the unapologetic unholy trinity. Sorry. Canbast, thank you for the $13.99 Canuck Bucks. Says, imagine aliens visit, and they ask what humans believe in, and we say, an imaginary wish-granting invisible sky guy. I'm sure they'd climb back into their ship and conclude there's no point in staying here. Or hear me out, they would destroy Earth, wipe out all the inhabitants, and start over. That's a possibility as well. I mean, if they're really that advanced that they're able to navigate the universe, and then they come on our sorry asses, man, I don't know if they have much motivation to let us live. Relax with Russell says, are you doing monkey at a typewriter with software? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like it's like a way of thinking about it, right? Like, you know, if you have your software randomly generate characters until there's like a piece of software that runs, which of course would take like an extraordinarily long time, you know, that piece of software, despite the fact that it came about with no meaning behind it, you know, it's just randomly generated, it still has the same function. When it gets ran by the compiler, you know, or I don't know if the compiler is going to be the one that runs it, if it's like zeros and ones. It's been a long time since operating systems. But whichever component of the computer runs like the zeros and ones, you know, it's going to run the same. It doesn't matter how it came to be that way. If it is that way, and it can become that way through like a process of like random generation, well, then it's just going to run that way.
Yeah. The TikTok chat is saying that says Justin, Darth has been running his mouth on you. I know. I live rent free in Darth's head. He spends all day and night worrying about what I'm up to, but he'll never ever come and debate me. Let him know that we're aware he's a coward. Relax coming in again with another super chat says, just started something deeply hidden myself. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe I need to read it.
Good book.
I have to get on that. Eric, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says, how do you spot an extroverted physicist? He looks at your shoes instead of his own. Is that true, Butch?
Y'all are mean. Y'all are mean.
You know
the best part about doing TikTok is you don't actually have to look anybody in the eyes.
Fair. Last super chat from our friend Paco Picayo. Thank you for the $10 super chat. It says, I'm new to this channel, but like this a lot. Could I get a super brief background on each of you so I can follow the context of discussion better? Seems like you guys are physicists. I heard PhDs. Well, let's get a few things straight. There's only one PhD among us, and that's Dr. Blitz in the middle. He is a physicist. And I have a background in electrical engineering, primarily in robotics and controls. And I also went to Bible college and seminary because I'm a deep nerd on the Bible and history. And I'm currently refreshing myself on the Quran. I read it when I was in high school, almost immediately forgot it because it was ridiculous. And now I'm reading it again as a full-grown adult. And Ian has a varied background. Ian went to school for computer science and mathematics, works as a programmer, and also is deep in the philosophical literature. Did I miss anything, friends?
Yep.
Nope, you got it.
Fantastic. That wasn't our last super chat, as it turns out, because Genji came in with an additional 15.
Genji.
Thank you so much, friend. Oh, not Genji, it's Genji.
Genji.
Yeah.
Genji, there we go. Okay, gotcha. Hard G. Says Justin, I apologize, Genji, by the way. I don't even know if it's your real name or just a screen name from the character. But
yeah, it is.
Justin, well, then they don't mind if I mispronounce it.
Maybe they do. They might.
Is it their name? I don't know. Justin, what's the relationship between the KJV and the Tyndale? Good question. The Tyndale came way before the KJV. And the relationship isn't as close as what we think. So, for example, like, I've got... So here's a 1560 Geneva Bible. And what you'll find is, like, the Geneva Bible utilized William Tyndale's Bible and the Coverdale Bible and some of the predecessors to help guide their translation work, like what we find in the Bishop's Bible. And then they all kind of built on each other's work. It's not like these teams of people just sat down with the biblical manuscripts and just made a blanket translation, although some of the earliest ones did. Typically, they took an earlier work in English, and then they sat down with the manuscripts, or what they had of them, and then they revised one of the prior works or updated one of the prior works. So the best example of this is the King James Bible. If you look at the translation committee notes, was just an update of the Bishop's Bible. That's why it says to stay as close to the Bishop's Bible as possible, when possible. So only change it in the event that the underlying manuscript demands it. And then it says if, for example, there's already an English rendering that's not in the Bishop's Bible, but it matches the underlying text. So like, if you find it in the Geneva, if you find it in the Coverdale, if you find an English rendering of this passage that's better than what we find in the Bishops, then go ahead and use that. Don't make up your own. So like the King James translators were tasked with the idea that we want to do a better official translation, but we want to make sure that people recognize the words. We want to make sure that it feels home and comfortable for the readers. We don't want to produce something completely foreign, because producing a completely foreign translation really fucks up people's, idea of the translation. They get used to something sounding and being the same way, and when you change it, they lose their minds. So it's completely dependent on the works that came before it. And Genji, I hope I got that right this time. Thank you for the additional super chat. It says, Dr. Blitz, have you listened to the series with John Green and Dr. Alice Mack about the Big Bang?
I haven't. I didn't even know it existed. I don't even know who Dr. Alice Mack is. But what I can say is I'm mutuals with Hank Green.
Oh, damn. That's a
Dr.
huge
Blitzler.
name drop. Well, listen, friends, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it, everybody. We had some connection issues, we had some lag and some choppiness, and y'all wrote it out. We really appreciate that. I'll call AT&T after this and report that there's been issues with the fiber. Maybe they'll get it fixed, maybe they won't. But if it happens, maybe on our next stream we'll have Dr. Blitz do it from his place, just to be sure we're out of the woods here. But we really appreciate everyone who likes, shares, and supports the stream. It really does mean the world to us that we have so many people supporting us. So we thank you for what you do. And I think next week we'll probably not be live because it's going to be the holiday. But the week after that,
I'm around
I
next
will
week.
probably be traveling. I'm good to go next week, but I'll probably be traveling back the week after.
okay.
I literally have no commitments until like the end of January.
Oh snap. Okay. Well,
So-
we'll work it out then. All right. Sounds good,
Sounds
friends.
good.
Thank you for being here, and we'll see you again soon.